and talking with you folks. It's going to be a lot of fun. Again, if you guys know anything about this show, we are here to have a good time. Let me tell you right now. Let's go. By the way, man, golly, hey, I know we've been on for about a month, but it feels like a brand new day. You want to know why? Got a brand new producer, man. We got a young fella. We got a young fella by the name of Peyton. Double P is in the building. It's producer Peyton. He's in the building, baby.
I like that.
How you doing? Double P. What's going
doing
on, man?
Well, man. Let's go. Let's get it going.
All right.
Vibes are good today. I love
great.
Mondays, man. There's so many things that we can talk about that happened throughout the weekend, and now we get to talk about it on a Monday. Love it.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Again, Double P will be with me moving forward, and I'm going to enjoy working with him. A hard worker is this young man. Hey, let me just say this too, man. God, this dude is young, bro. Y'all ain't got no excuses. I just want to let you guys know. Young fella like this, man, just coming through. This guy's in his 20s. Hey, yo, how old are you, dude? Can you buy a drink yet?
I can, yeah.
Okay,
22.
22 years. Golly, what is going on? It's crazy, bro.
Yeah, Cody and D-Fish, Cody Decker on, what was it? One of the World Cup games. Oh,
Okay.
the one where USA lost.
Yeah.
We were all going to go out to the bar.
And he was worried about you.
And yeah, well, no, I was going to meet everybody, and everyone's already sitting at a table. Raj and all of them, all the guys, all 97.1 The Fan, sitting in a corner at the bar. O'Brien's in Santa Monica.
There you go.
And the guy was sitting there, the guy in front, the bouncer, took my ID and sat out there for let me sit out there for 2 minutes and said, hey, just hold on right there, man. And I ended up waiting there for 15 minutes while he went to the back and checked my ID.
Wow. Didn't believe it at all. I don't blame him.
No.
He's got a baby face, does Double P, which is great. We've got a great show lined up in front of us here tonight. We will, of course, give you all the happenings in the world of the Dodgers. A lot of interesting trade rumors are out there in regards to the Blue. We'll give you a whole weekend recap, too. What y'all miss on Saturday and Sunday, man? We give you a whole recap there. We will go back to Who the F. We're going to go back all the way to the birth year of Double P. We're going to talk about the 2004-2005 Lakers, a total rando player from that unit. And we'll, again, just have fun with that. You know, I just had a big question mark in regards to this Kyle Shanahan accident reporting. This is big right now on social media. This is big on Twitter X, man. Why did the San Francisco 49ers wait 2 weeks until, to announce this car wreck between Kyle Shanahan and this other unknown driver, right? Where's the reporting on this? It wasn't just a little fender bender. No. Major injury sustained by a head coach, and yet there's no reporting for 2 weeks. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. I know we're the unofficial, conspiracy theory show on 97.1 The Fan. I'm just saying the conspiracy theory, radars, they're on full tweak out mode right now. That's all I'm saying. I want to explore this idea. What is going on with San Francisco? Interesting stuff. We're going to hit the top NFL training camp storylines. Plus, we got boots on the ground, baby. We got boots on the ground. We got an 97.1 reporter on the scene at Rams training camp on the beautiful campus of LMU. But I want to start the show by talking about Rich Paul making an absolute ass clown of himself as per usual. The more this offseason is going on, the more Rich Paul he's the most unlikable, unsavory character in basketball right now. You have to absolutely be kidding me with Rich Paul. Hey, and listen, at first it was fun and it was funny, right? He goes on and does the whole whiteboard thing. That's fun. That's funny. I like it. It's humorous. I was like, okay, he's got the whiteboard thing. That's cool. Then he starts talking about how he's telling executives, NBA executives and decision makers that they got to go send him a voice note to forward that to LeBron. Right? Again, it starts to get a little bit more annoying, but it's still relatively humorous. Relatively humorous. But man, now it's gone too far, bro. It's just gone way too far. Now he's postulating as to whether or not Kobe Bryant, of all people, would approve of what LeBron is doing going from the LA Lakers to the Philadelphia 76ers. Are you kidding? Bro, stop it. Now we've crossed over into, we went from humorous to annoying to just downright disrespectful. I'm not a huge Kobe Bryant guy. I'm just going to let the listeners know. Anyone who knows me personally, like, I don't want them listening to this show and being like, this guy's a giant fraud. Right? I am not a big Kobe Bryant guy. I grew up in LA. Okay, my entire life. I've been watching the Lakers my entire life. I love the NBA. Right? Like, Chick Hearn is one of my personal heroes. He's one of the reasons why I got into this business in the first place. I love it. Right? But that being said, I'm just not a big Kobe Bryant guy for a number of reasons. I don't want to get into that right this second. If y'all want to call in, by all means, we can talk about it if you want to hash it out. It's okay. 855-97-LA-FAN. That being said, to bring up Kobe Bryant in regards to LeBron James making a free agent move, going from LA to Philadelphia, why on God's green earth are we bringing up Kobe Bryant? Why are we doing this? Why are we saying Kobe Bryant would approve of this? And not only approve of this, he would say, hell yeah, this don't make no dang sense. Rich Paul has gone from humorous to annoying to just downright disrespectful. Why is Rich Paul even bringing... Why? Why is Rich Paul bringing up Kobe Bryant? If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, let's listen to Rich Paul talking about what he thinks Kobe Bryant would think about LeBron's move from LA to Philly.
And now is playing for the Sixers right in Kobe's hometown, basically.
I actually think this is something Kobe would be extremely, like, I don't know if proud's the right word.
Proud is the word, I think.
Yeah, but I think he would be like, hell yeah.
Right.
Because
it's a
competitive
challenge. Move.
It's a competitive move. It's a challenge. It shows that this guy really...
Well, Dog, stop it. What are we doing out here? What do you mean Kobe would be proud? What do you mean he would be proud? This is what I just don't get it. What, like what? Kobe's like what? Like LeBron's big bro or something? Like, what you mean he's going to be proud? Like, from everything I know, they didn't really mess around with each other like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like a big bro, little bro situation. You know, they were competitors. They legitimately were competitors, which is cool. Like, that was great for the NBA. I love it. Anytime it was, early career LeBron versus, if it was Cavs versus Lakers, that's must watch. That's must watch. Anytime it was Miami, Lakers, must watch. You got to watch it. 100%. What are we talking about? What do you mean he would be proud? That is just going so far as to just, again, now we're just being disrespectful. That's what's crazy to me, is that now we're just being disrespectful. Like, what do you mean he would be proud? I'm just so confused by this. I am utterly baffled by the fact that Rich Paul would put words in Kobe Bryant's mouth. Like, Rich Paul, listen, unless Rich Paul comes with receipts. Unless Rich Paul is coming with them receipts and he doesn't have the receipts. You see, you know what I'm saying? Like, unless he was like, hey, yo, you know what? Little did y'all know, but I was really tight with Kobe Bryant. No. Stop it. How is Rich Paul each and every week getting more and more unlikable? He's the most unlikable, unsavory character in all of NBA basketball right now. This guy has made his bones off the back of LeBron James. I get it. He's one of the most powerful people in basketball. And when you get that level of power, you feel that you can say whatever the hell you want. I get it. Stop it. It's embarrassing. Like I said, it's unsavory. It's unlikable. It's downright disrespectful. Why are you bringing up somebody who tragically passed away? especially in this market of Los Angeles, to say LeBron going from LA to Philadelphia, that Kobe Bryant, of all people, would be proud of that.
I don't know if proud's the right word.
Proud is the word, I think.
Yeah, but
no. Also, I know I've talked about this before. Max Kellerman, it's like I struggle to say this, man, because look, Max Kellerman was at one point absolutely fantastic at his job. As a matter of fact, I think ESPN should have stuck with Max Kellerman over Stephen A. Smith, and I think a lot of folks would agree. Right? But unfortunately, he got let go, or, they didn't, whatever. They put him on ice. They basically put him on ice, where they're like, hey, we'll pay you out these millions and millions of dollars, but the second you take another job, right? The second you take another job, this free money goes away. So he was, again, basically priced into just being quiet and staying out of the limelight. And in this profession, when you are out of the limelight, your career withers away. I would know. Hey, listen, I would know. As somebody that was not brought back to NFL Network, I would know. When I left DirecTV Red Zone, again, I didn't get fired. They didn't let me go, but they just ceased football operations, right? And so now I was out of a job, right? I go from NFL Network to DirecTV Red Zone, right? Okay. All right, cool. We good, right? But then they cease football operations. Okay, and so now I'm out there just looking for a job. Listen, I took a year off, and golly, that was the worst year of my life. I took a year off because I was like, you know what? Let me reconnect with my kids right quick. Nope, terrible decision. Not reconnecting with my kids, obviously. I'm just saying from a professional standpoint, I was miserable. You got to get back in there. If I was miserable, I can only imagine what Max Kellerman was like. Right? Being on the shelf for that long. And now all of a sudden, this guy's just, carrying water for the likes of Dana White, for the likes of Rich Paul. That is who this guy's career has now turned into. And I get it. You want to make a living, man. I get it. You want to make a living. You want to make a really good living. And there ain't no way to make a good living making the millions of dollars that you are seeking without cozying up to some really wealthy and really powerful people. And that's exactly what he's done with both Dana White and Rich Paul. And I say this, and if you hear the sadness in my voice, it is because Max Kellerman, in my opinion, in his prime, was one of the best sports broadcasters to ever do it. Whether we're talking about color commentary on boxing. Listen, I'm a huge boxing fan, and I grew up listening to a young Max Kellerman absolutely kill it on the mic. Absolutely destroy it on the mic as a boxing analyst. I listened to Max Kellerman on ESPN absolutely hammer Stephen A. Smith on his very own show. Week in and week out, just absolutely torched Stephen A. Smith. I listened to him on the radio, and he was one of the best sports talk radio folks to ever do it. You want to know why I'm so inspired by what I do and how I wanted to be here, how this is one of my dream jobs, to be on a microphone talking to y'all? Hey, listen, Max Kellerman was one of those reasons. He was fantastic at his job. One of the best to ever do it. But right now, man, if you hear the sadness in my voice, it's because, golly, what in the world happened, bro? Max, in his heyday, he listens to that soundbite and he's going off. He's going off. And I'll tell you what he's not doing. He's not encouraging Rich Paul to say such nonsense like, yeah, Kobe Bryant would be proud. Kobe Bryant was, and we all know this, like he was one of the most competitive people on planet Earth. What are you talking about? He'd be proud. Kobe Bryant? Is this the same Kobe Bryant we're talking about, bro? What do you mean? The other thing about Kobe Bryant was that, dude, this guy had some venom in his veins, man. He had some venom. He was not scared to talk noise about people. As a matter of fact, hey, if you pull up, Double P, can we pull up this Kobe Bryant sound, man? Like, I know he's got no qualm. He's got some venom in his veins now, right? This is part of what turned me off to Kobe Bryant, was that he did have a lot of venom in his veins. And he was not scared to talk about other players and other situations. This is what Kobe Bryant actually said.
If you're doing something that's so easy, man, you might want to reconsider what you're doing. Like, I can't, Durant's been a friend of mine for a very, very long time. So is LeBron and all those guys. Would I make the same decision? No. But that's their decision. That's their choice. The Lakers, I've been a Laker fan since 5 years old, man. I know the Laker history all the way from Minneapolis all the way to where it is today. Right? So it's in my blood. I'm not going to go anywhere. Like, this is home to me. We work through this stuff together. And, like, as a leader, you got to be able to take the good with the bad, man. You can't just, because the ship's sinking, all of a sudden I'm going to jump off and swim to another ship like that. You don't do that, right? If you can win championships in front of everybody, then you could miss the playoffs in front of everybody. You got to be able to take both sides of it.
People have to do what's right for them. It's not a judgment. It's just a fact. So it is. It is.
It is what it is.
So, again, that's Kobe Bryant legitimately talking about LeBron James and Kevin Durant, right? Okay. First of all, let me just say this. Let me get this out there. There has been so much myth making in regards to Kobe Bryant, right? So again, I know it's going to sound like I'm talking out both sides of my mouth here, right? But I want to take it straight down the middle. I want to be a straight shooter. I want to keep it 100. I always say on this show, I'm going to keep it a buck. There's been so much myth making in regards to Kobe Bryant after his tragic passing that a lot of it just doesn't pass the sniff test. A lot of it is not based in reality. A lot of it is just ignoring straight up facts, right? So like when Kobe Bryant says, I would never do that, that's a lie. That's cap. Maybe it's not a lie, but it's a gross over exaggeration. He would do that. As a matter of fact, he asked to do that. The only reason it didn't happen for him is because the Lakers front office found a way to scam Memphis. That's the only reason. The Lakers front office found a way to scam Memphis, and they got Pau Gasol to come to LA for absolutely nothing in one of the most lopsided deals in NBA history. Somehow, some way, the Lakers always get this done. Like the Luka Doncic trade, one of the worst trades in NBA history. The Pau Gasol trade, go back and look. It's one of the worst trades in NBA history. It was so bad that people from around the nation thought maybe there was something nefarious going on. That's how bad it was. It was a horrendous trade. So that is very much an exaggeration from Kobe Bryant that he would never do that. That being said, his words that, again, he wants to fight through it, what would make you, of that entire clip, what would make Rich Paul think that LeBron James going to Philadelphia would be applauded by Kobe Bryant? What about it? I'm baffled. And quite frankly, it's just getting, it is just getting old watching Rich Paul make an ass clown of himself each and every week. Like I said, it was funny at first. Then it got annoying. But the more we hear from Rich Paul, the more, again, just outlandish, clownish he is sounding. It's to the point where I think LeBron needs to check his guy. I think LeBron needs to check his boy. This is doing more damage to LeBron's image than anything he could have done himself. Remember, LeBron is somebody who is an exceptional basketball player. He plays the game the right way. He's never been in trouble with the law. He has never had baby mama drama. He watches after his sons, puts his sons into positions to succeed. He's been a great dad. There's nothing that he has done that you would say, okay, this guy's a bad guy. But people hate this guy. People hate him. And I tell you what, the more Rich Paul keeps going on, the more it's damaging LeBron. They think that Rich Paul, the haters do, think that Rich Paul is some kind of LeBron proxy. And listen, he very well may be. I'm not going to make that assumption, though. But the bottom line is this. People are making that assumption. People do think that Rich Paul is a LeBron proxy. That whatever Rich Paul says, that's what LeBron thinks. I'm not going to go so far. I'm not going to go so far. I will judge Rich Paul on the words that he is saying. I will judge LeBron James on the words and actions that he says and does, right? Like I said, I'm going to keep it a buck. But Rich Paul, man, good Lord, has there been someone as unlikable and as unsavory as this guy? It is shocking. It is incredible. I just, like I said, man, I can't. It's just been, look, I even said when he came out the whiteboard, it's been great for me because that's content, baby. That's content. I love content. Let's go. Let's talk about something. It's great. Let's have fun with it, right? Like the whiteboard was fun. It was stupid. And we broke it down. It was great. I love it. Right? We make fun of him for the whole, voice notes thing. Okay, cool. Like it's content. It's something we can talk about it, man. But why are you, dude, come on, bro. We got to be smarter than this. Like why are we bringing up a dead hero's name to support your guy, LeBron? You don't need to do that. You don't, it's shocking because you don't need to do it. Bring up Scottie Pippen going to Portland. Bring up Charles Barkley going to Houston. Bring up any of these guys. Bring up any of these dudes. It's such a long history. For people to hate on LeBron going to Philadelphia, it's a joke. It's a joke. It's just hate. And listen, combat hate with love. Be like, hey, yo, I love Scottie Pippen. You know what? He did this over here. I love Charles Barkley. He did this over here. Right? I love Kevin Garnett. He did this with Boston. I love Ray Allen. He did this with Boston. Bro, like, what are we doing? There's so many examples of late stage, superstars going to other teams. We're going back decades and decades and decades. The hate on LeBron is outrageous. It's stupid. It doesn't make it. It's not even based in reality. It's fine. You hate him. It's okay, great. But it's not based in reality, man. But I tell you what, this is based in reality. Rich Paul bringing up a dead superstar's, what he would think. Okay, now LeBron haters can really latch on to something, bro. It's so stupid. The most unlikable, most unsavory character in all of basketball, Rich Paul. 855-97-LA-FAN, 855-97-LA-FAN. I've gone on too long. If you guys want to join in, by all means, give me a phone call. When we come back, we will do a little bit of a Dodgers recap from the weekend and also some interesting rumors in regards to the Dodgers that are floating around. That's coming up next right here on the James Koh Show on the brand new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. What is going on, Los Angeles? It's your boy, James Coe. If y'all want to be part of the program, hey, listen. Well, I can sit here and talk for 4 hours on my own. That'd be fine. But don't let me do that, you know? Come on, man. Like, y'all want to chime in? Don't let me sit here and talk to myself for 4 hours, bro. Let's go. 855-97-LA-FAN. Again, that's 855-97-LA-FAN. We go to the phone lines. We got my guy K-Dog on the line. K-Dog, what you got going on, brother? How you doing?
What up, James?
It's my guy, dude.
What's going on, my guy? I gotta talk LeBron with you.
Okay.
So,
hit me.
Any hate against LeBron is not well taken from my view as a Laker fan, right? He's not going for a farewell tour that he would have got if he stayed in LA, if he went to Cleveland, or if he went to Miami. Probably would have got a farewell tour. This guy is playing at an all-star level, which he demonstrated in the playoffs last year, and he wants to win. You know, compare that to Kobe, Jordan. In their last years, they weren't competing. They weren't good enough to compete. They weren't good enough to lead a team. They had their farewell tours. But this guy, he knows that he can still play at an all-star level, and he deserves an opportunity to win.
And the fact that he's doing that at a league minimum, I mean, again, this is the best contract deal in terms of value in NBA history. For him to do this on a, 2-year, $8 million deal, it's outrageous. And again, he gets, by the way, K-Dog, he gets no credit for this, right? Like if any other superstar is like, hey, you know what, man, I just want to win, so I will take the league vet minimum, they would absolutely be getting celebrated. LeBron gets none of that. As a matter of fact, he gets more hate. For some reason, I don't get it.
Totally agree with you. I mean, I just don't understand the hate. He brought a championship here, and he's playing at 42 years old at an all-star level, probably top 10 player in the league, and he gets hate. I don't understand it.
K-Dog, I appreciate the phone call, man. We will play golf very soon and get a couple beers, man. Right. What do you say, pal?
My guy.
Okay, dude,
I'm in.
My guy K-Dog, man. That's one of my dudes, man. That's one of my guys right there. Yeah, man. By the way, burgeoning golfer. I think he's trying to get down to below 90. So good for him. But no, listen, saying he's top 10, that's probably going a step too far for me. I think he's probably like a top 25 player. I think that'd be fair. I don't know. And again, we'll see what he ages like. But I think last year, I think that's absolutely fair. I mean, we're talking about a guy that was, 22 points a night and 7 boards, 6 assists. I mean, still, again, very consistent on the offensive side. The reason I would say he's not top 10 probably is because defensively he's fallen off quite a bit. And now he's going to Philadelphia. I am so confused about what the role is going to be in Philadelphia, right? As a matter of fact, poll question here today. If you guys want to chime in, 855-97-LA-FAN. But who has more wins? Who has more wins? Who is the better? You know what? As a matter of fact, let me rephrase that. Who's the better team? Because again, the Sixers play in the East, Lakers obviously play in the West. Better team though. Better team, Lakers or Sixers? Who do you got? When you're looking at the Lakers, obviously they've got a top 5 guy in Luka. They re-signed Austin Reeves. They signed a bunch of these dudes, right? Getting Kessler in the building was a big upgrade at center, we think. Meanwhile, for the 76ers, it's 5 guys that are like legitimate like stars in the NBA, right? Tyrese Maxey made the NBA third team, right? VJ Edgecombe is one of these up-and-coming, I really think VJ is an up-and-coming superstar. Jaylen Brown got a bunch of MVP votes. We know he's a perennial all-star. LeBron, former multi-time MVP. Joel Embiid, former MVP. So, again, when you take a look at their starting 5, I don't know how that starting 5 breaks down, but they've got the talent. This is the point that I was making on Friday was, listen, you can have all the talent in the world, but can you make those pieces fit? I've got some serious fit questions in regards to the Philadelphia 76ers. I don't know how they fit. But again, I want to know from LA, man, who's got the better team as we sit here today? Who you rolling with? in terms of just pure talent. I want you to take your fandom out of the equation. Who's got the better squad? Okay, your life is on the line. You got to pick one of these teams. Heads up, Lakers, Sixers. Who you got? Who you got? By the way, I like both coaches here too. JJ Redick, I think, is a really good coach. Nick Nurse, I think, can be a really good coach, although he's got some shortcomings. And JJ's got some shortcomings too. But I like both of these head coaches. So I don't see a clear edge from a coaching perspective. From a talent perspective, I like Philly. From a fit perspective, shoot, I might like LA, man. I might like LA. I like how Kessler kind of like, pairs up with Luka and Reeves. It's the other guy. It's the depth that make me question it just a little bit. It's an interesting one. Again, 855-97 LA fan. Let me know what you guys think. Who wins straight up? If the Lakers, dream scenario, Lakers Sixers in the finals, who you got? Who you got? Life on the line, who you got? I need to know. I was supposed to do this Dodgers recap, and I will get to it looking ahead. But also looking ahead, we've got Lindsay Polaris covering the Rams at training camp there on the campus of LMU. She's coming up next. But I will say this before we go, man. If you guys want to go check it out on YouTube, check out the show on YouTube, by all means, at The Fan LA. Again, that's at The Fan LA. Man, as a matter of fact, we heard Bill Simmons, right, Double P? We heard Bill Simmons talk about how the Sixers actually do remind him of the Lakers, but not this current iteration, but a former iteration of the Lakers.
There's 2012 Lakers potential too, where this looks awesome on paper and there are all these reasons for it. But you have LeBron, who's 41, who with a ton of miles on him, God only knows when he's going to break down someday. And Embiid, who never plays, and Jaylen Brown on a new team trying to fit his way. Like, there's an unhappy version of this too. And I don't know which one I would bet on, to be honest.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Like, you take a look at the roster and you say, okay, this is great. And I like the fact that more and more people who know ball are coming around to the fact that it's a great, again, overall talent level that Philadelphia has, but the talent doesn't necessarily match together. And really, it honestly reminds me of when the Lakers had Shaq, Kobe, Gary Payton, and Karl Malone. Right? Again, the thought in La La Land at the time was like, oh my God, we're going to win this thing. It's over, baby. It's good. We good. We're good to go. But no, not really. It ended up really falling apart. Right? I believe the roster that Bill Simmons was referring to in 2012, it was Kobe Bryant. It was Pau Gasol, right? It was Dwight Howard. Antoine Jameson was on this team, and so was Steve Nash, right? So again, when you're taking a look at just like overall 1 through 5, yeah, okay, the Lakers had a real big time unit back then, 1 to 5. Steve Nash, Kobe Bryant at the 1-2, Antoine Jameson, Dwight Howard, and Pau Gasol in your front court, man. This was, come on now. Oh, shoot. This roster had Meta World Peace. I forgot they had Meta World Peace. This unit was stacked from a talent perspective. But how did it all fit? I tell you right now, it just didn't fit that well. It didn't fit that well at all. First of all, Mike D'Antoni was the head coach, and talk about like the absolute worst head coach you could get for Kobe Bryant. where the ball is going to stick into Kobe Bryant's hands, and Steve Nash and Mike D'Antoni, they're trying to whip this ball around. Meanwhile, Kobe wants to play ISO ball. Come on, man. That's not going to work. And again, it was a disaster. They failed in terms of what they want to get accomplished, right? It was tough. Not good. Not good at all. But, I mean, like I said, man, it also has the vibes of Gary Payton and Karl Malone teaming up with Shaq and Kobe. It's got those vibes too, where the names on the jersey look really, really good, but does it all match up? I don't know. I don't know, man. Okay, I want to do a full breakdown of the Sixers and the Lakers too, just matching them up player for player, position for position. But we got to go to break, and when we come back, we're going to take you into Rams training camp. We got boots on the ground on the beautiful campus of LMU. Rams training camp update coming up next right here on the James Coe Show on the brand new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. Welcome back, everybody. James Coe here with you. Come on, man. Let's go on a beautiful, lovely Monday evening. If I got a little pep in my step, man, it's because, golly, you go 2 days without talking on the radio, man. I'm glad to be back with y'all. 100%. I'm stoked. I'm excited. You know why I'm especially excited, though? Oh, wait. We get to talk Rams football? We get to get boots on the ground in regards to Rams training camp? We got our reporter out there, 97.1 The Fan reporter, Lindsay Polaris, on the ground there in the beautiful campus of LMU. Lindsay, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Any day I can talk about football is an amazing day.
Exactly.
And I know LA has got a really intense heat wave going on, but I got to tell you, there is a wonderful little breeze rolling through LMU, so it was perfect football weather.
Oh, man, I can only imagine what it's like out there right now. Oh, golly. LMU campus at 6:49 p.m. I'm sure it's beautiful right now. Hey, Lindsay, can you talk to me about Matt Stafford? It's his first day back. How did he look? What did you think?
Yeah, so it was technically second day of training camp for the Rams, but first day of actual practice for Matthew Stafford because he's doing kind of an abbreviated schedule, right? The Rams are practicing 4-day blocks. He's going to be going on days 2 and 4. And honestly, I don't want to over-exaggerate here, but he looked like he reached flow state, honestly, especially with his top 2 targets, Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. That really just looked like he hadn't skipped a beat, as they were doing receiver drills. He had back-to-back beautiful throws to Puka and Devontae. And I heard one of the coaches scream out, great timing. And it really was the perfect compliment for that moment. He just looks really energized to be out there. Obviously, training camp's always fun. Rams fans are out here chanting MVP. So it's really hard not to get hyped up. It's like first day of school with a cheer section hyping you up and, your best friends are all out on the field. So, yeah, I think all good things we saw from Matthew Stafford today.
Matt Stafford is the leader of this offense, and the offense is pretty loaded. You talk about Puka Nacua, you talk about Devontae Adams. Kyron Williams has been a longtime staple in the Sean McVay offense, too. But it's one of the most balanced teams in the NFL, Lindsay, and this is why they've got some of these Super Bowl vibes. Now that they've got Myles Garrett in the building, can you talk about what the energy is like with big old Myles Garrett roaming the halls?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just say there, I've been working in the NFL for a while. Myles Garrett is a force to be reckoned with, a large human. You can see that number 95 on the field immediately. Obviously, training camp, especially right here with no pads on just yet, it's hard to really tell, what every player can do, but that Myles Garrett, obviously reigning NFL Defensive Player of the Year, a generational talent, and you can see him in real time just come off the edge in the backfield within, like the blink of an eye. It's a sight to see. And, obviously right there to meet Matt Stafford, obviously no tackling going on, but a nice little tap on the red jersey. I think the whole defensive side of the ball is fired up to have him in the locker room. And, Matt Stafford said in his post presser here saying, iron sharpens iron. It's cliche, but it's true. When you've got the best on both sides, it's hard not to keep improving.
I love it. I love the energy right now, too. And again, some teams, Lindsay, we're talking to Lindsay Polaris, reporter here with The Fan, 97.1 FM. But I just, the expectations can sometimes be crippling, but yet you're describing this scene as almost like a party there at LMU.
Yeah, it was. I absolutely think it was that. Like I said earlier, MVP chants, Rams house, like the crowd really didn't stop screaming in excitement. And obviously you can see that like new day, like new season, like fresh day of school energy on the field. Absolutely. And it's really hard, to not be excited when you've got the caliber of talent on both sides of the ball. And those expectations that you talked about, they've been asked ad nauseum about them. And really kind of the company line here is we're blocking out the noise because truly football games are won September through January, and you might have everything on paper, but it really comes down to how you play on Sundays, and that's very much the mantra of the Rams right now, and it's true because crazy things happen in football. We see it every season. You can have all the talent in the world, but you've got to be able to put it together on Sundays.
You're so right. 100%, man. Can you talk to me about, okay, we know Stafford is there, right? But we know that his snaps and stuff like that, his practice time, all of it's going to be somewhat limited to kind of sort of preserve his health and his freshness for the regular season, which of course brings up the question of who is the backup quarterback? What does that quarterback backup battle look like right now at LMU?
Yeah, so right now you're looking at Stetson Bennett, who has obviously been with the team, and then also first-round pick Ty Simpson. He was the 13th overall pick, first-rounder out of Alabama. And at least for today, which is the first day we've seen all 4 QBs that are here at training camp out together, it was Stetson Bennett that got the bulk of second-team reps. Ty Simpson really had just one set, but of course, Sean McVay was asked about it after practice concluded, and he did say, I don't want to pigeonhole myself to, committing to this order of reps, especially when Matt's out there. But we're going to keep this in a constant evaluation. So I do think that backup QB battle is going to be ongoing throughout camp. Obviously, hopefully we get a little bit more clarity by the time everything is said and done. But right now, Stetson Bennett taking those second-team reps, and then Ty Simpson coming in as the number 3.
Oh, that's so interesting. That right there is so fascinating to me, man. Hey, can you talk to me about the fans, though? Okay, so the fans, when they watch Stetson and when they watch Ty Simpson, look, when the fans go to training camp, these are fans that are absolutely locked in. They know what is going on with the team. Can you talk about some of the reactions to some of the throws from Stetson Bennett versus some of the throws by Ty Simpson?
Yeah, I think just because of the disparity of reps, obviously just more excitement for Stetson Bennett, simply because he had more opportunities. Ty Simpson had really one set. But he did catch the attention of Sean McVay during that. He said he did a really good job with the very limited opportunities that he had today. And then he went on to say, too, that, Ty Simpson is in a perfect situation to continue growing, getting better, and, really entering the league in a good spot. But I'm not going to lie, the fans were excited about Matthew Stafford. Like, it was MVP chance. Like, so as much as, they got their fill of the backup QB battle, they were absolutely here for number 9. And that's the chants were overwhelmingly going in that direction, as they should.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Hey, before I let you go, look, one of the storylines there for the Rams is clearly like, what is going on with Puka Nacua? I just kind of get it. Like, again, he's had a very tumultuous offseason, let's just say. What has the vibes been around Puka Nacua and the Rams?
We saw Puka Nacua walk out after most of the team was already out, and I really think the focus while he's here is just football. Fans were excited to see him, and they were excited to see that he was catching passes with such ease, and you can see that chemistry, obviously, with Matthew Stafford. It hasn't skipped a beat. I think, Sean McVay mentioned it in a presser earlier in the week that all the off-the-field stuff, they're keeping that private and it's going to be ongoing. So really that didn't enter the conversation today. I really do think attention was on what can Matthew Stafford do with his top targets. Obviously that is in the background of all of this, but it really was kind of a non-factor today, I would say.
Okay, there you go. The great Lindsay Polaris joining the program here. Great reporter for the Fan LA. Lindsay, we appreciate the time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh, man, that's so great. I love the fact that we got boots on the ground out there talking about vibes for the Rams and just, again, great insight. I love that because I tell you what, man, you could see as much as you want on social media, but unless somebody is there, right, and is like actually doing the reporting, actually doing the legwork, it truly is difficult to understand what exactly is going on there at the campus of LMU. And by the way, let me just, if y'all have never been to LMU, man, just beautiful. Gorgeous campus, great vibes. I really truly honestly mean this. Like at 6:30 p.m., LMU has got to be, it's got to be gorgeous out there, man. Come on. I know it's a little bit humid for us LA folks. You know, we're weather wimps out here, but let me just say, I'm sure LMU, the campus, is awesome, man. So, no, that's great. That's cool. Let me say this, too. The Rams, when we're taking a look at their preseason schedule here, it starts up pretty soon. Again, it's July 27th. Their first game in the preseason will be against the Chiefs, August 15th. And then every week thereafter, right? They've got the Saints in the preseason week number 2. They're also going to play the Chargers in the preseason. But the regular season starts September 10th on the road. It's supposed to be a home game, but again, as we know, this one's going to be way out there in East Melbourne, Australia, as they take on the San Francisco 49ers. Speaking of the San Francisco 49ers, I can't wait to get into the details of what is going on, or I should say the lack of details going on in regards to Kyle Shanahan suffering a major injury, a major concussion as well, in a huge car accident that went down July 14th but was not reported on until 2 weeks later. Big time conspiracy theory jumping up on Twitter X right now. It's a hot topic. What should reporters be doing? Well, I tell you what, we're going to break that down, give you all the details that we can anyways. That's coming up next on the James Koh Show on the brand new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. Yo, 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 what is cracking? It's your boy, James Coe. Here with you till the 10 o'clock hour. Back on our normal night shift, baby. Let's go. 855-97-LA-FAN. 855-97-LA-FAN. Oh, by the way, comment in the chat says, this is from M. Gerbani. I disagree with your guy, K-Dog. LeBron should have stayed. To claim that all Laker fans should applaud this when by definition he is no longer a Laker makes no sense to me. I'm not exactly sure that's exactly what my guy was saying, but let me just also say this. Look, you can be a Laker fan and root for non-Lakers. We do it all the time. What do you mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can be a Laker fan, but still be a fan of, like, I don't know, like, maybe I'm a fan of Steph Curry, or maybe I'm a fan of Kevin Durant, or maybe I like OG Anunoby or something. Like, I just love Jalen Brunson. That's fine. Is that not allowed nowadays? I mean, I know old school wise, like, you weren't allowed to root for anyone except on your local team or something. I kind of feel like we've moved well beyond that. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. By the way, David Horse is in the chat. Hey, James, what's cracking? Nothing much, man. I like you stole my line, though, bro. What do you mean? I'm the only person that can say what's cracking. Los Angeles. You know what I mean? Wayne Mulholland says, how you doing, James? I'm doing great, man. You know why? Because I get to talk to folks out here and talk sports. This is great. I love it. I love my job. It's the best job in the world. Papa Greco. Michael Papa Greco. I like it. Long time supporter of my work. He's jumped in the chat and says, hey, lunch break to catch you live. All right, man. We appreciate you, brother. Anyways, if you guys want to jump in on the chat at the Fan LA, big story on Twitter right now is no question. I think everyone is kind of sort of chiming in like, what happened with Kyle Shanahan? What happened with Kyle Shanahan? He got in a major car accident on July 14th, and for some reason, we didn't find out until Saturday morning, 2 weeks later. And you're asking yourself, okay, why does this matter? And I know a lot of fans on Twitter don't understand why this matters. This matters. And let me tell you why. Was the team suppressing information? Did the team ask beat reporters to not look into this? Where were the beat reporters? Where? I'm confused. The head coach of the San Francisco 49ers gets into a major car accident. You're telling me not a soul, not one person locally had this? Not one? And listen, let me tell you something, man. There are some really good reporters out there. There are. And some reporters even said they had heard something. And by the way, can I just say this, man? Niner beat reporters are... I hate to drag an entire reporting group. I think I think all beat reporters do the yeoman's work. They do the hard work. They're the ones actually doing the work while meanwhile dummies like me get to sit and just, regurgitate their work. I'm not doing the work. Let me just say that 100%. I'm not trying to be like, oh man, I can't believe. Look. These beat reporters, they have a tough job. They have a very difficult job. But when, again, the head coach of an NFL franchise gets into a major accident and it's not reported on for 2 weeks until the team releases the info, to me, that's a problem. That's a problem in reporting. That's a problem in journalism. And I know there's a lot of fans being like, they should respect his privacy. Listen, dude, I know that sometimes journalism gets in the way of your feelings. I get it, but guys, it's just reporting. This is just journalism. That's all this is. Journalism is the backbone of a functioning democracy. And if you don't get that, then, dude, listen, stop talking. Stop. You can have all the opinions you want, that's fine. But understand that a healthy democracy is reliant on good journalism. It is. And people hate journalism right now. People hate it. right? Because the billionaire class is raging against it, and the billionaire class has the reins of social media, and they have somehow convinced all the people that they want to suppress, they've convinced these people, especially, that journalism is bad, right? Journalism is built to report on these billionaire class that control all the reins of production, control all the reins of social media. It is literally, their job is literally to do this. And and by the way, I don't want to make it seem like, hey, reporting on a Kyle Shanahan car crash is some kind of like, breaking, like, oh my God, this deserves a Pulitzer. It doesn't. It doesn't, but it's such low-hanging fruit journalism that it should have just been reported on. It's like, it is literally one of the most basic things that they could have reported on. That's why this matters, that when the lowest of low-hanging fruit journalism is not being reported on, what in the hell is being reported on? It is the lowest form of just, again, easiest thing to report would be this car accident. You heard it from somebody who heard it from somebody. All you got to do is ask the police, hey, listen, I'm looking for this accident right here. Bop, 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 bop. Look, again, I'm not a beat reporter. I was a reporter. As a matter of fact, I'm an Emmy award-winning reporter. I've won multiple Emmys doing this dang thing. So I'm not just talking out my rear end over here. Like, I get it. I understand what goes into reporting. I'm not that guy anymore. Somebody asked me, are you a journalist? I've got the heart of a journalist, but golly, I'm not a journalist. I'm just an idiot on a microphone talking about why people need to be reporting on Kyle Shanahan. You see what I'm saying? But it needed to be reported on because it is such a low-hanging fruit piece of journalism that it makes you question the whole system there in the Bay Area. Like, what is going on? That's why it's taken off on Twitter. People stupidly wondering, what else is what about this accident is being covered up? Why didn't they want people to report on this? And let me start by saying this. I shouldn't say start, but let me also add this, okay? I'm glad that Kyle Shanahan is okay. It sounds like it was a very, very scary accident. He was not there for training camp, or he was, but in like a limited capacity, and he wasn't taking questions from reporters. Instead, it was general manager John Lynch. And John Lynch had this to say about the accident.
Kyle's doing good. He's got some bumps and bruises. He did suffer a concussion in the accident. Has some lingering effects from that concussion, and we're kind of treating this. We don't have a protocol for staff members when it comes to concussions, but we do with players, and it's become very helpful. So Kyle basically is going to be like in the protocol, and Doc Nino and all the great doctors we have are giving him great care, and we're going to let the condition, the doctors dictate how he comes back, when he comes back. He's been in the building, so we've seen him. He's, it's kind of like we do with our players, a phased back approach. Number one for Kyle and the Shanahan family is getting him back right. He's a tremendous head coach, but this is bigger than that. This is about his well-being, and we're going to take the time necessary.
Listen, again, when you hear that initially from John Lynch, you think, oh, he's got a concussion. And that makes sense. Hey, listen, probably airbag deployed. I don't know, whatever. But again, if you don't have the details of the accident, you're like, okay, it doesn't sound like a big deal. Or it doesn't sound like a very big deal at all. Like, oh, again, John Lynch spent the vast majority of that portion talking about a concussion. When in reality, I'm not trying to downplay the concussion, but in reality, the injuries were much, much more significant. Again, this is fueling the speculation that they are covering something up. Why are we not really telling the people what is going on? How do we know that the injuries were much, much more impactful than what GM John Lynch is saying? Well, Chris Sims on Pro Football Talks podcast, who is a very good friend with Kyle Shanahan, said he received pictures of Kyle Shanahan and was very, very concerned.
Yeah, all of a sudden one day I get a text from Kyle's wife, Mandy. She texts myself and my wife, and it's like, oh no, Kyle's been a part of some horrible accident. And she sent us some pictures right off the bat. And it was like, oh my gosh. Like, so just to let you know, paint the picture. You've seen the injury report, the broken ribs, 40 stitches in the face, the broken nose, broken left hand, of course the bad concussion. But when you first see it and it's fresh and some of the cuts are still wide open, I mean, it's jarring. It's jarring. He was this close to maybe losing his right eye, right? The scar is so big right here.
Again, that's Chris Sims on Pro Football Talks podcast if you want to go check it out. I just, look, when you're talking about a guy potentially losing an eye, like that was the level of injuries that we are talking about in regards to Kyle Shanahan. Major lacerations on his face, again, broken bones. And meanwhile, GM John Lynch is saying what? Oh, he's in concussion protocol. Guys, I cannot stress to you enough how much that is trying to undersell the injury, right? And let me just put it to you this way. If this was a player who had suffered these kind of injuries, you think John Lynch is going to go up there and say, well, you know what, he's in concussion protocol? No. I think we can all sit here and agree that that is not how this team would handle an injury like that to a player. So again, it is fueling speculation. And maybe it's unfounded. It's probably unfounded. But regardless, it is fueling speculation of like, okay, well, what is the team covering up? And not just the team. What are the police covering up? The police are out here saying, we're not going to give you any more additional information. That drugs were not involved, that there was no criminal situation going on with this accident. But we are not going to give you any more information. Stop asking us. The police are literally saying, don't do your job, reporters. We're not going to give you any more information. That's their stance. And I know what you're saying. You're saying, hey, it's a car accident. Like how much more information could we get from this situation? Maybe. But don't you think that's a weird statement? Don't you find that to be a very odd statement that the police will go out there and say, we're not giving any more information at this time? Why? Who cares? You think there's 100 reporters out there trying to get information on this traffic act? No. How many FOIA requests do we need to put in? That's what that is. That is basically saying, if you want more information, get a FOIA request. That's a problem. Again, it's a car accident. Why can't you just tell us what happened? You see what I'm saying? Again, I don't know if there's anything going on. I probably not. But the fact that GM John Lynch underselling it, the fact that the police are saying we're not going to investigate this further. We're not going to give journalists any more information. It's all feeding into this whole thing. And by the way, again, the accident happened on the 14th of July. It didn't get reported till when? Saturday morning. It is the least impactful day that you can actually report this news. Was it on Monday? No. Was it on Tuesday? No. Friday? No. Saturday morning. They're trying to bury this thing. The Niners are. The Niners are burying this. They released this information to Adam Schefter. When did they release the information? I don't know. But Adam Schefter playing part of the long game too, burying it. If he had information Thursday and he sits on it till Saturday morning, till after the team announces it, I tell you right now, ESPN and Adam Schefter are part of the game too. And people give them a pass, like almost as if like, well, they want access, so therefore you got to play by their rules. No, that is not how this game is played. That is 100% not how this game is played. Report on the facts when you got the facts, man. If you are truly worried about access and you're trading information for access, man, we just got this thing backwards, bro. Journalism is in a dark place right now, bro. No, oh hell no. When I see that take, I want to puke in my mouth. I legit just want to just throw my phone against the wall. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? We're not trading access for information. If people were sitting on this because the team told them to sit on this, that's a huge problem. And why did they tell them to sit on this? If it is truly as simple as just a simple car accident, why is there all this suppression of information? Why? If it truly is just a simple car accident, for them to try to suppress this is the stupidest thing in the whole world. They should have got this out day one and been like, oh my gosh, we're really worried about Kyle. We really hope, thoughts and prayers to Kyle and his family. They got into a bad car accident, man. Hey, join us in wishing the best for Kyle. That's the easiest press release in the whole world. Nope, they didn't want to do that. They suppressed this information for 2 weeks. Why are they doing that? Why are they doing that? Are they this bad at PR? Are they? Are they this paranoid about the media? Like I said, man, I don't know what is going on. I have absolutely no idea. But I will tell you this. People were asking about, like, okay, why is it being so delayed? And you know what? Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk was at the forefront of this. He was at the forefront. He's the really, truly, honestly, one of the only major NFL insiders that were asking this question of, why were they sitting on this information? Well, you know what? He asked his co-host, Chris Sims, who is, again, friends with Kyle Shanahan, about why there was no reporting on this.
I was sitting there every day after it happened going, is the news going to break today? Is the news going to break today? Is the news going to break today? Right? I certainly looked at my wife a few times in the last 12, 13 days, and we looked at each other and we were like, hey, this is pretty amazing. It still hasn't come out. But I think when you get down into it, this is where, hey, being goodwill, treating people the right way, being successful, being powerful as the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers, but being a guy that everybody in the community likes and knows, and that's where Kyle is gifted and cool. His ability, just like you heard Chris Forrester there, to talk to people, whether it's, somebody really important or somebody down the totem pole a little bit that way. And I think, between that and the goodwill that he's worked up there in the San Francisco area, and the fact that, of course, like you said, I believe he was coming from a chiropractic adjustment when this all happened, so he was close to the stadium. And as you know, and we know, these organizations are tied into the police departments that are around the stadium and the facility and all of that.
That last piece of information is so disturbing. I can't even fully put into words how disturbing that is. He's saying that the Niners are tied into the community. Obviously they are. Every NFL franchise and every major college program is tied into the police. The last thing I want to hear, though, is that they're so tied in that they are willing to what? Do what? Like, that's the unspoken part of what he just said. They're very tied in. Okay, well, what does that mean? Right? And, like, again, I love Mike Florio. Mike Florio does a good job. He's an amazing, but this is his co-host, and he didn't want to go to that level with his co-host, which I totally understand. I totally get that. I wouldn't listen, if the shoe were on my foot, I would do the exact same thing Mike did, which is I wouldn't ask a hard-hitting follow-up question, right? But again, that part is so disturbing, where Chris Sims the Niners are tied in with the police department around the stadium. Okay. The next question is, so what does that mean? At what level were the police involved in the suppression of this information? At what level? Right. And again, I know the people online, there's people listening right now saying, James, it's a car crash. Who cares? Move on. It isn't that. That's not the point. The point isn't the story. The point is that the story is such low-hanging fruit that it should be an absolute nothing burger, that it should just be a car accident and they should just have reported it immediately, and it wouldn't make any waves whatsoever. It's like, oh, dang, okay, Kyle got into a car accident? That's crazy. Okay, we move on. Literally, absolutely, who cares? We move on. But because of that, it's the lowest hanging piece of journalism fruit there is. And if you're not reporting on that, golly, what else are you not reporting on? What else are the authorities suppressing information on when it comes to the Niners? I think that's a fair question. If it is truly as nothing of a burger as we are saying that it could potentially be, what about if it is something important? What about if it was something else? What about if it was more important? Player safety or coach's safety or crimes being committed? Again, if they're willing to suppress the information on a simple car accident, I don't think it's I'm not making a huge mental leap here in saying that what other information are they willing to suppress? That is why this is a story. That is why people who are in journalism care. It's not the original story. The original story is Kyle got into a car accident. It should be an absolute nothing burger. But all of a sudden, you're waiting 2 weeks to drop this on a Saturday morning. You're suppressing information. The police are telling you we're not going to give you more information. Chris Sims is telling you the organization is tied in with the police. Bro, what? All of that in conjunction with in and of itself, that's why it's a story, man. Y'all really want the police to be suppressing information, bro? Like, y'all feel comfortable with this? Y'all feel comfortable with local beat reporters sitting on information like this? Y'all really feel comfortable with that? Y'all really feel comfortable with people in positions of power trading access for information? Y'all are okay with this, man? Like, what is going on? Has the care for journalism fallen that much? The people who say they don't care, y'all are tripping, man. Y'all are tripping. Y'all are the same people that being like, hey, none of this stuff matters. Like, just listen to the authorities. Sorry, guys. Like, sorry, I'm not the guy that's just going to be bootlicking the authorities, bro. Like, sorry, I'm not that guy. My bad. That's why this matters. It's crazy. It's a nothing burger story. Kyle got into a car accident. If it's truly nothing, then why are we suppressing the info, man? I don't know. Okay, we step away. When we come back, I want to give a Dodgers recap and also fill you guys in on the latest in regards to Dodger trade rumors, which I find to be very interesting as well. You're listening to the James Koh Show right here on the new 97.1, The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. What is cracking Los Angeles? It's your boy, James Coe. Double P is in the building. What's up, Peyton? How you doing, man?
Doing great, man. Let's go.
Oh, man. I like it. We got the new team. The new tag team is in the building. Double P, JK. It's an off day for the Dodgers, and I thought it'd be good to kind of sort of catch you guys. Hey, listen, it's a Monday, okay? Maybe y'all are like me. You're hanging out with the kiddos, man. Like, you didn't have time to catch up on the Dodgers, but you still want to know about Dodgers baseball. Well, we're going to give you a little recap. Let's do it. Dodger baseball. The great Vin Scully. I don't know. I turned Vin Scully into like some kind of like Southerner for some reason. I don't know what it's. Vin Scully, by the way, I don't know if anyone has met Vin Scully before. I'm sure a lot of listeners have met Vin Scully. He's always been around the town, but nicest guy in the whole world. And Vin, I remember when I got to LA for the very first time as a sports reporter, and I got to go to Dodger Stadium, and I saw Vin, and I will say, Vin Scully is just about as popular of a celebrity as anyone that was in a Dodger uniform. So, yeah, man. And he was always so gracious with his time and his energy with the fans and fellow reporters. You have to understand, I very rarely ask for selfies, right? Like with famous people. It's rare. It's very rare, you know? But with Vin, I was almost so starstruck that I legitimately froze, and I never got a selfie with Vin because I froze, because it's one of probably the only, there's only been 2 times that I've legitimately been frozen with celebrity, just like frozen stiff because of a celebrity. One was Vin, and number 2, Denzel Washington. Y'all don't know, like, I freaking love Denzel Washington, man. Like, I am a huge Denzel Washington stan. Like, I've watched everything that he has done. I think he is the greatest actor of our lifetime. He's awesome. I love Denzel. I saw Denzel at some restaurant, man, and I was like, oh my goodness gracious, there's Denzel Washington, bro. And I didn't know, I just was completely like frozen shook, man. And I could not get myself to ask for a picture, dude. I wish I did, though. What a huge regret was me not asking for a photo with the great Denzel Washington. Anyways, okay, let's recap the Dodgers here. Dodgers wrapped up a 3-game set against the Mets over the weekend. Obviously, on Friday night, we saw Roki Sasaki go 7 strong. He allowed just 1 earned run, striking out 9 batters. His fastball was just out of control. It was awesome, man. Multiple. A bunch of pitches over 100 miles per hour. He definitely had his velocity back, and he was going in there with that crazy oversized glove. That insane oversized glove. He seemed to be confident with it, you know? It's like a binky for him now. He's like, oh, you guys thought I was tipping pitches? Well, let me go ahead and wear a ridiculously oversized glove, and that will give me the confidence to go out there. And apparently he wasn't tipping pitches anymore. I don't know. Anyways, a big 2-run home run by Kyle Tucker in the top of the 8th. That was the difference in the ball game. Dodgers win that one 4-2 to win game 1. Game number 2 of this 3-game set came on Saturday night. 6 strong innings, 1-run baseball from Yoshi Yamamoto, baby. And this time it was Kyle Tucker again.
Crushes this ball down the line to right field and off the pole, gone. One of the hardest hit balls in Dodger blue for Kyle Tucker. A bullet of a home run.
That is a good sign that he had back-to-back games with home runs, because as we know, Kyle Tucker has been, let's just say, not good. He has been not the best. in Dodger blue, despite getting paid $60 million, as I'm sure you know. Maybe this is the first time you've heard this. Did you guys know that Kyle Tucker's getting paid $60 million? Did you? He's got to be like one of the only people, you know. It's like you can't even say his name without saying how much money he makes, you know. It's like Kyle Tucker, who by the way makes $60 million. You know, I don't know how much anyone else makes on this team other than Kyle Tucker, who makes $60 million. It's just so funny. Anyways, that made it 1-0 Dodgers. They go on to win 4-3. Brock Stewart got his first save since 2023. His first save as a Dodger since 2017.
Brock Stewart picks up his first save in years. And the Dodgers beat the Mets 4-3. They are 5-0 against New York this year, and they are 6-2 on this road trip to open up the second half.
It was a great start. They won the first 2 games, but then on Sunday, man, you know, and shoot, I don't even know how to feel about this loss. But anyways, Emmett Sheehan took the mound on Sunday. He went 5 strong. He allowed just 1 run, and that came in the first inning. And remember, Sheehan's been, you know, he's been very rocky. He's been very, very rocky. So this was a strong outing for him. Jack Dreyer came into the 6th. He was only able to get 1 guy out before Evan Phillips entered the game and gave up an absolute bomb to Met center fielder Tyrone Taylor. 2 of those runs were charged to Jack Dreyer. 3-run shot from Taylor in the 6th. That's what sparked a 7 unanswered runs from the Mets. After that 3-run shot from Taylor, Will Klein came in for the Dodgers. He gave up 4 runs in the 7th, and the Dodgers dropped the final game of this 3-game set by the final of 8-3. Here's Dave Roberts on getting some of his bullpen back for the Mets series this weekend.
I like what these guys have done as far as the body of work, but the reality is that Klein is trying to find his way again. I think Evan, I think I got to, give him some different situations. So I think that's where it's at. And today, Jack, had a great lane, and he just can't walk 2 guys in an inning.
Well, so there you go. It was a rough start for the middle relief there for the Dodgers, but ultimately they win 2 out of 3, which is good, which is not bad at all. But Freddie Freeman, let me tell you something. Freddie Freeman has been going absolutely bonkers. He's been going banana pants here. 8 for 12, and he hit his 574th double yesterday. He's now the top 25 for the most doubles in Major League Baseball history. And he is the hottest, arguably the hottest hitter in baseball. 11 for his last 16 at the dish. Here's Freddie after yesterday's game on what's been working well for him.
I've just been getting pitches hits and been hitting them. I think in New York I felt a lot of pitches off. So I just got to better quality decisions, and when you swing, I'm hitting the ball this time.
I love that he's just like, yeah, I'm seeing some pitches and I'm hitting them. It's as simple as that, guys. It's as simple as that. He makes it sound so simple. Yeah, I see some pitches and I just hit them. That's crazy, man. That's awesome, dude. 8 for 12 over the weekend, so that's not bad. The Dodgers went 6-3 on this 9-game road trip after visiting the Yankees, Phillies, and Mets. Okay, off day today, but they are back for a 6-game homestand starting tomorrow night at the Ravine. Oh, it's their good luck charm. It's Eric Lauer on the mound against Luis Castillo and the Seattle Mariners before they take on the Boston Red Sox for 3 more starting Friday night. The Red Sox, man, they have been hot. They've been hot. It's going to be a really great matchup between the Dodgers and the Red Sox here. Not so much against the Mariners, who stink. The Mariners, they stink.
They do stink.
They're so bad, dude. They're so bad, bro. Oh, man. Anyways, Eric Lauer, what a story he has been. Again, the Dodgers undefeated when he has taken the bump. They're 8-0 in the games where Eric Lauer has pitched. Pretty good. It's not bad. It's pretty crazy. The Dodgers now 67-39, 12 games in front of the Arizona Diamondbacks in the National League West. Okay. But we got a week to go in the MLB trade deadline. And the question, of course, is, are the Dodgers going to make a move? I think at this point, I want to say at this point, I think all Dodger fans and baseball fans in general are kind of sort of resigned to the fact that the Dodgers are not going to get Tariq Skubal. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong there, but it feels as if that deal is pretty much just gone. Like, that's not happening. And again, maybe I am wrong there, but you know what? Shoot. I've been saying since the jump, I'm like, I don't think the Dodgers really need Skubal, man. Like, am I crazy? Like, they got Yamamoto, they got Ohtani, they're going to get Blake Snell back soon. Roki Sasaki now all of a sudden dealing. They can't lose with Eric Lauer. They got, where's Tyler Glass now going to come back? I don't know. Shoot, that at some point it's going to, okay, where the heck does Skubal fit in? Where are they going to go with an 8-man rotation? Come on now. Like, what's happening? I don't get it. I don't understand. So again, a week to go in the MLB trade deadlines. Where are the Dodgers? This according to the Athletics' Katie Woo. Well, according to Katie Woo, the Dodgers, are they going to make a move? Probably not. As a matter of fact, they could be sellers at the trade deadline. Left-hander Eric Lauer and outfielder Alex Call are two names the Dodgers could shop, according to sources who told Katie Woo. Right? According to Katie Woo sources. She's saying Eric Lauer and Alex Call could be two names that the Dodgers move on from. Jeff Passan says Teoscar Hernandez. Say it ain't so. Teoscar Hernandez could be on the trading block. Could be on the trading block. Late May hamstring strain for Teoscar. But since returning, man, Hernandez has, he has struggled. Since being activated on June 29th, again, that's about a month of baseball here, Hernandez is hitting just 186 with 1 home run, 6 RBIs, and an OPS of 528 across 20 games. Not good. He's been dropped to the bottom of the lineup. He's also 33 years old, and maybe possibly look, I know the Dodgers have unlimited resources and unlimited funds, but again, he's in the second season of a 3-year, $66 million deal. He also plays in the outfield. Why does that matter? Mike Sirota, outfielder, one of their top prospects. Josue De Paula, outfielder, one of the Dodgers' top prospects. I don't know. Trying to find room for some of these guys, man. They're raking it in AA ball right now, especially Josue De Paula. A lot of talk about him trying to make the big club in the very near future. So I don't know. We'll see. There's obviously a glut and a logjam at outfielder. Could Teoscar Hernandez be on his way out? Oh, yeah. I don't want to see that happen. I love Teoscar. But maybe. Dodgers so rich with talent in the outfield, man. Shoot. Teoscar might be a casualty. I don't know. We'll find out. Okay, I'll tell you what. We step away. When we come back, it will be more about the Dodgers. It will be more about the Lakers. But we will dive deep into NFL training camp storylines. That's coming up next, right here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. What is going on, Los Angeles? It's your boy James Coe. Let's go. Man, I'm having a lot of fun here, as I always do. Man, you ain't going to listen to my show and not have fun. Come on now. Come on now. Okay, we are fast approaching the 8 o'clock hour. I thought this would be a great time to start talking about major training camp storylines. And to do that, it's Double P. Producer Pate is in the building. Hit me, bitch.
That's me.
Yeah,
Double
man.
P. I like the Double P, by the way.
Double P, let's go.
I'm a fan of the Double P. I like it. All right, we're going to start with Vita Vea.
Yeah.
My favorite player. He has requested a trade, and according to Ted Wynn from The Athletic, he has a source that says he wants to go to a California team or the Raiders.
Oh, who's like basically a California team, or the Raiders, right? The Rams, I would think are out of this picture, but who knows? They just traded for Myles Garrett. Aaron Donald is on the horizon. I would think that the Rams are out of the picture here, but could you imagine a defensive front of Vita Vea, Myles Garrett, and Aaron Donald?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my gosh. That'd be incredible. No, listen, I think they're out of the picture, though. I would be surprised if they were in the mix. I would say the Chargers, who also just picked up Dalvin Tomlinson, who plays tackle. I would think they're also out of the picture, although they're probably looking at Dalvin Tomlinson and being like, golly, we could have had, like, Vita Vea. Oh, man. It might be a little buyer's remorse right there, you know? So if we're talking about just California, to me, it only leaves the San Francisco 49ers. Why? Because they don't really have anyone of note playing defensive tackle. It's also a team that traded for Osa Odigizua. Nick Bosa's coming back from injury. Fred Warner is coming back from injury. And let's be real, the NFC West is arguably the toughest division in football. It's a straight-up arms race in the NFC West. Shoot, Double P, I would have to think that the Niners could get involved here in the Vita Vea sweepstakes. That would be fresh.
That would be pretty fresh. All right, let's get over to Daniel Jones. He says he's feeling good coming off an Achilles tear. What do you think about that?
First of all, they're always going to say such nonsense like this, but I will say this. Shane Steichen and the Indianapolis Colts offense absolutely fell apart last year when Daniel Jones got injured. But it's so funny, you know, like they look at the first 8 games, Double P, and they say, okay, listen, if we could get that Daniel Jones back, we can be one of the best teams in football. Meanwhile, I look at that first 8 games and say, wow, they got so lucky. I don't think even with a healthy Daniel Jones that the Indianapolis is going to be that good, to be honest with you. Look, you can't lose a player of Daniel Jones's caliber, okay, and be that bad. I mean, they were absolutely atrocious. And I'm sorry, like Daniel Jones is a fine NFL quarterback. Stop making it seem like he's Peyton Manning or like Tom Brady or something. It's Daniel Jones, y'all. I mean, come on, dude. Like, what are we talking about? It's Danny Dimes. Stop it. Look, he's going to come back from an Achilles injury and not be as good as he was last year. Meanwhile, they traded away Michael Pittman, and their number 1 wide receiver, Alec Pierce, is coming off of ankle surgery. I'm sorry, man, but I don't think this Colts offense is going to be as good as people think it is. I truly, honestly think that, again, because of the lack of depth, I think this team will still be somewhat, you know, struggling to hit 500. I think they win 9-10 games at most in this division.
Oh, wow. All right, well, hold on. Let me just tell the DJ real quick to stop the music because I got to play a sound right here. This was Myles Garrett when they were doing the alternate jersey reveals, right?
Yeah,
that was on Friday. So let's go ahead and play this sound. This is what Myles Garrett had to say.
I want the
Yeah, I want the champs. That's what he said, man.
I want the champs.
I want the champs.
I don't think we got all of that. Hold on. Let me see.
I want the champs.
There we go.
Yeah. I want the champs. Bring on the champs.
How about that?
And he's talking about Seattle there, right? Like he wants the champs.
Yep.
And you think about what this matchup might look like between the LA Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. Let me just say this. You know, I think that Seattle, who allowed the 7th fewest sacks last year. I think that number's going up. I really do. And especially when we're talking about matching up with the Rams, I really think that number is going to go up significantly. Again, we know Myles Garrett is there. Bottom line was Jared Verse is a really, really good player, like a Pro Bowl level player. As a matter of fact, Jared Verse, if he develops, he might be an All-Pro. Like, he's that good. But Myles Garrett is still another level beyond, right? So, and the number one thing for me when you're talking about Seattle is they lose Clint Kubiak. Gary Kubiak's his dad. They lose Clint Kubiak, and I think the offense will take a step back, and part of that will, again, lead to some confusion, maybe to some reads that are not going to be as available. We love JSN, but again, the wide receiver 2, 3, 4 is a big question mark. They don't have a superstar tight end at all. And they lost the MVP of the Super Bowl as well in Kenneth Walker. So I think the offense takes a step back, which means there will be less available. If there's less available, Sam Darnold a little bit more under pressure. And as we know, he likes to double pat that ball, man. And if he's holding that ball, that's only going to lead to some sacks. So, no, I think Seattle will be good. I don't think they're going to be great. And I do think of all the teams in the NFC West, I think that the Niners take the biggest step back, but I do think that Seattle will take a step back in the NFC West too.
Let's move on to number 15, Patrick Mahomes. Patty Mahomes, his knee. How about that knee that just got worked on quite a bit over the offseason. He's fully cleared to participate in camp with that knee. How do you feel about that?
Well, listen, Mahomes tore his knee in Week 15. That was December 14th. Week 1 is like around September 10th or something. Maybe it might be September 14th for the Chiefs. Again, we're talking about essentially 9 months removed from a pretty bad ACL tear, right? So how do I feel? I mean, look, the Kansas City Chiefs, their offense is already in rebuild mode. And quite frankly, I think it's just criminal negligence what this front office has done with the Kansas City offense. They don't have any pass catchers worth a lick, man. You're talking about your number one wide receiver, Rashee Rice, rehabbing his knee in jail. Come on, bro. From jail, bro? You got Xavier Worthy, who, again, is a field stretcher, but not a real route runner, right? And he's 5'11", 165 pounds. Tyquan Thornton might be their biggest body wide receiver, and we're talking about Tyquan Thornton here. Cyrus Allen has made some early camp buzz. He's 5'11", 180. Jalen Royals is a 5th-round draft pick. Travis Kelce has 1 foot out the door, bro. Like, what Kansas City, they did not address wide receiver in the draft. They did not address wide receiver in free agency, and I think, again, it's criminal negligence what they are doing offensively for Patrick Mahomes, who, again, coming off of an ACL tear. I don't know what KC is doing offensively, and I think they're in big-time trouble.
And having your wide receiver go ahead and rehab in jail, something tells me jail doesn't have the best amenities
no.
like a Division I school would have or something like that. I think TCU's got better amenities than jail does.
Most def.
Probably, yeah. All right, let's move on to wide receiver Malik Neighbors avoiding the PUP list to start camp for the Giants.
Look, I want to believe in Malik Neighbors, and when he's healthy, he's truly, honestly, a candidate to be a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL. His start-stop ability coming out of LSU was legendary. That being said, man, this injury bug is slow to recover, and I just think there's too many complications with the knee. I know he's not on the PUP, but again, even if he plays, I think we will see a very diminished version of this player. So no, I don't have a lot of hope in a good 2026 from Malik Neighbors. I'm hoping that New York field doesn't do more harm than good to Neighbors. Hopefully he stays relatively healthy in 26, and I'm really looking for a bounce back in 27.
I like it. Really quickly, Jacoby Brissett finally reached an agreement with the Cardinals. $21 million it could be with incentives. Does he even start week 1?
I think he starts week 1, and low-key, this is actually a fun offense, right? Like, when you're talking about MHJ, you're talking about Michael Wilson. I really like, obviously, everyone likes Trey McBride, and then they drafted Jeremiah Love as well. Low-key, this is a fun offense. They'll still be bad, but it could be a lot of fun, and that's all we want in the NFL, man. So there you go. That's your NFL training camp roundup. More from the James Coe Show right after this. What is going on, Los Angeles? James Coe here with you. Welcome back. We're having fun. It's the 8 o'clock hour. Got a couple hours left here. Show always goes by so fast. So I want to say hello to the folks in the chat. By the way, if you would like to call in, 855-97-LA-FAN. Again, that's 855-97-LA-FAN. If you want to find us on social media, it's at The Fan LA. I try to do as good of a job as I can interacting with the folks and the fans in the chat on the YouTube side there. So I want to say what's going on to Kid Cowboy, who's very active in the chat right now, which is great. And Michael Parla Greco is also in the chat here as well. Poll question for tonight. Again, I want to know what you guys think. Straight up, better team right now when we're talking about the Lakers versus the Sixers. Who's got the better team? Would you rather take Luka and the boys, or would you rather take LeBron and the fellas there in Philadelphia? You know what? And for this exercise, we're going to turn off injuries. We're going to turn off them injuries, bro. So, again, I'm not talking about 82-game schedule. I'm talking, okay, we got a 7-game series between the Lakers and the Sixers. Who you got? Who's winning that matchup? We will assume Joel Embiid is healthy. We will assume Walker Kessler is healthy. We will assume all the teams and all the players on both teams are healthy. Who you got? The Lakers with Luka, with Reeves, Quentin Grimes maybe at the 3. Sandro Mamu Kelishvili, my favorite name in basketball. Mamu! You got him at the 4. You got Walker Kessler at the 5. On the bench, you've got Colin Sexton, microwave score. You got Cameron Carr, the rookie, making some noise in Summer League. Can Cam Carr develop into a legit 3-and-D threat? That would change this calculus entirely. But that's a pretty good unit. By the way, Jake LaRavia's got a bunch of, playoff experience now. He's still on the squad. So the bench of Sexton, Cam Carr, LaRavia, it's not the best. It's very unproven. It's not the worst, though. Meanwhile, Philadelphia, you've got Maxey at the 1. Right? You've got VJ Edgecombe, outstanding rookie, at the 2. Jaylen Brown, maybe potentially at the 3. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to change it up, man. I think VJ, at this point, with all the reporting, I think VJ's coming off the bench. We're going to say Maxey at the 1, Jaylen Brown at the 2, LeBron at the 3. You got Dean Wade, who they signed to a multi-year contract, at the 4. He's kind of a whatevers, but, he'll be a rebounding dude. Okay, and then you've got Joel Embiid at the 5. Off the bench, then, you've got VJ Edgecombe. You've got Anthony Simons, who is a legitimate scorer, right? Over his career, he's averaging 20 points per game per 36. I think I said that wrong. 20 points per 36. It wouldn't make any sense to say per game per 36. 20 points per 36 minutes. This guy, this guy is a legitimate scorer. And Laker fans, very familiar with KCP, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Again, when you're talking about a bench of VJ, Simons, KCP, also not a bad bench. Not a bad bench, I'm telling you. So again, I want to know, you got to make, $1 million on the line, okay? You got to pick the winner. $1 million on the line. So again, you got to say, hey, listen, I might be a Laker fan, but I got a million buckaroos. More important, right? $1 million on the line. Who you taking? 7-game series, Lakers, Sixers. I want to know. 855-97-LA-FAN. As a matter of fact, Double P, who you taking, bro? You got the Lakers, you got the Sixers, $1 million buckaroos on the line. Who you going with?
I know we're in Los Angeles, but I think I got to go with the Sixers. They just got the LeBron guy. I mean, come on.
I know, right?
And VJ's good,
Dude,
man.
VJ's so good, bro.
The offense was something that.
Wait, you went to a Big 12 school, right?
Oh, yeah.
Where'd you go again?
TCU.
There you go.
He was a Baylor guy.
There you go.
Another guy. And another guy who kind of similar to Cameron Carr coming out of college.
Yeah.
A guy that you definitely think is going to be great defensively in VJ Edgecombe, but the offense is surprising, especially with the ball in his hands, too.
He is so fluid. And he plays like an absolute veteran. You know, he's never rushed. He's always in the right spot. He makes the right, plays. This guy, he is so good. I'm telling you, this is a future superstar in VJ Edgecombe. And I don't know, maybe the whole like LeBron and like them like chasing titles and stuff. I don't know what that's going to his development as a player, because certainly he's not going to get as many shots. He just won't, be as involved in the offense. So like, what does that do to his development? That is a fair question, I think, in Philadelphia. That being said, it could also go the other way where you get that, high level leverage situation and game experience, and that ends up transforming you too. I don't know. I'll tell you what, though, you're talking about two guys that were in the Big 12 there, right? Cameron Carr, right? You talk VJ Edgecombe. Golly.
Two Baylor Bears right there.
You know what I mean? Back-to-back years.
Who knew Waco, Texas would produce so many guys? Have you ever been to Waco, by the way?
No. I don't think I will.
Don't go.
I don't think I'm ever going to go to Waco. I can't foresee that in my future. Listen.
It was one of those drive-by places, one of those drive-by cities.
Nothing against Waco, okay? I'm sure. How far away is Waco from, like, Dallas?
About 2.5 hours. 2.5
hours?
Yeah.
No, I'm never going there.
Okay.
Yeah. No, never. I've been to Dallas before. Dallas is cool. I've been to Houston. Houston is cool. Waco. Yeah, that's not happening, bro.
No.
Nah, no. I mean, listen, unless 97.1 The Fan is going to send me there for some unknown reason, like, hey, man, like, at some, like, hey, like, UCLA is going to play Baylor or something. We want you to go cover it or something. Okay, then I'll do it. But just on my own? Nah. Sorry, bro. That's not happening. Hey, listen, nothing against Big 12 schools, man, but a lot of these I know you went to the Big 12, bro, but like a lot of these Big 12 schools, I don't want to go to any of those campuses, dude. Like,
you've never been to TCU, beautiful campus out there in Fort Worth.
Okay, Fort Worth is cool.
Yes.
Okay, Fort Worth is worth it. Austin, Fort Worth area, beautiful.
If no one's seen it, go ahead and look up the images of TCU's campus. Pretty beautiful.
Okay, what other Big 12 schools are there? We got to go through. Okay, so Oklahoma. No, I don't want to go to Norman.
No,
never.
No. Houston.
Okay. Yeah, well, yeah. Okay, like I said, I went to Houston, so Houston's okay. That's not bad.
Oklahoma State.
State is in what? Stillwater?
Yes. Stillwater.
No, absolutely not.
Kansas.
Who in the hell wants to go to Stillwater, bro? No one.
Rock Chalk Jayhawk, no.
What city is that one in?
Kansas?
Yeah.
That's Lawrence.
Lawrence. Actually, I think Lawrence is a possibility, but
wow, okay.
I don't think so. But most likely not. Like Kansas State, absolutely not. Manhattan, that's Manhattan, right?
Yep.
Yeah. No. Oh God, no. That's a non-starter. We ain't going there. No way.
But we haven't mentioned yet, Arizona.
We can't count these Pac-12 schools that are now in the Big 10 or Big 12, man. I don't know. Sure. If you're formerly Pac-12, yes, I will go to your school.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I've been to almost all the Big 12 former Pac-12 schools, almost all of them. Like even like Washington State. I've been to Arizona. Arizona State's obviously awesome in Phoenix. Listen, a lot of these schools in the old Big Pac-12, I can't even get the name out now. That's so sad. But like a lot of these schools, they're actually these are actually cool places, like actually fun. Like Eugene, Oregon, you would think is like kind of like whatever, but no, actually Eugene's actually pretty cool. You know, they got the whole Nike situation going on, but like, let's say you just want to go there and like go camping or like hiking, like the nature is naturing out there in Eugene. I'm trying to think about some place. Corvallis is a no. No, Corvallis is. Oof. I'm sorry, Oregon State, but like Corvallis is kind of a dump.
Beavers have been rough the past couple of years in sports.
And I've got a couple friends who went to Oregon State, and they swear by it. They love Corvallis, and I'm like, bro, you couldn't pay me to go to Corvallis, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, it's not happening. Anyways, other than that, like all the others, I'm like, come on, like Washington's in Seattle, it's great. UCLA, USC, Berkeley, if you've ever been to like, you know, the Bay Area, it's beautiful. Stanford's kind of whatevers. Stanford is probably the one school that's like super over, like who wants to go to the farm? Like no one. Palo Alto is a dump. Like, I'm sorry. Like, hey, listen, I know like the campus of Palo Alto is fine. Okay, but like, dude, come on, bro. Like, you have the literal train track meme, like on one side of the train tracks and on the other side of the train track. Like, literally on the East Pally is like, people from Stanford can't go to East Pally, bro. You know? Like, no, Stanford's weak. Stanford's weak. But other than that, like, most of the other Pac-12 schools are actually bangers. Like Phoenix, Seattle, LA, Bay Area. I mean, come on, man. Like it's pretty popping. Anyways, I don't know how I went down that rabbit hole of random places that I would or would never go to. 85597 LA fan. If I dissed your school, I apologize. If I dissed your school and you want to make a case for your school, go ahead, call me right now. 85597 LA fan. I will be very open to that. I will be very, very open to that.
Apologies, Iowa State.
Apologies, Iowa State. Oh, dude, who wants to go to Iowa State, bro? No one. No, what's the city? What city is Iowa State in again?
Oof, hold on.
Oh man, I can't even think of it, dude. That's how little I want to go to it. Is some random city in Iowa State, like Iowa, the state of Iowa. Hey, listen, I'm sure they've got some like banger cities in Iowa. I'm sure. I'm positive of it. There must be like one city in Iowa that's like an absolute banger. Nothing that comes to mind, obviously.
It's in Ames.
It's in Ames. Okay. Ames might be the one place in Iowa.
Could be.
Maybe. Hey, listen, Cyclones, I apologize. Maybe Ames is the one place in Iowa that I do want to go to. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, NFL news here. It's kind of sort of piggybacking off of the of me ranting and raving against journalism in the Bay Area. But San Francisco, obviously, Kyle Shanahan is banged up. He suffered some major facial lacerations, and as GM John Lynch says, oh, he's going through the concussion protocol. It sounds so nice, it's just so easy. So easy when you listen to. Listen to the GM. It's like, oh yeah, Kyle. Hey, listen, we're hoping for the best. Hey, listen, he's got a concussion though, guys. Okay, so nothing to worry about though. Okay, he's going through concussion protocol. Anyways, regardless, assistant head coach Chris Forster says, "quote It's a group effort to coach this team through training camp. It's absolutely hysterical that Chris Forster is in this position. It's absolutely, and you might be thinking to yourself like." Who in the world is Chris Forster? Chris Forster has been in the NFL as a coach since 1992, 34 years. And you're thinking, wow, that's a lot of great experience. He's a well-respected offensive line coach. Wow, great experience. 34 years. Here's the thing. He is best known for resigning as the Miami Dolphins offensive line coach in 2017. Not even that long ago. Not even that. This is less than 10 years ago, dude. Less than 10 years ago. After video emerged of him snorting a white powder before a team meeting. That's Chris Forster, y'all. That's the guy who less than 10 years after that incident is right now leading the charge and leading training camp for the San Francisco 49ers. What? What, dude? Come on, bro. How is this happening, dude? How? We're having a laugh about it and everything. Like it's like it, and it is like legitimately funny. It is funny that the San Francisco 49ers lead man right now in this moment as Kyle Shanahan is recovering, is a guy who's most famous for doing a white substance before a practice in Miami, man.
Who the is that guy?
Chris Forrester, bro. How did this guy get in this position, dude? Like I said, it is funny, but like legitimately, how did he get in this position? I'm genuinely curious, you know? Because if that had happened to anybody else, dog, if that had happened to anybody else, oh my goodness gracious. Like, you're accused of doing cocaine before a practice? Who is recovering less than 10 years later and being like, you know what? Now I'm in position to be the acting head coach of a prominent NFL franchise. Who's doing that? That's crazy.
That's terrible.
It's not terrible. It's incredible. Like, holy privilege, Batman. Holy privilege, Batman. Less than dog. If I was on camera doing a white substance before a show, I promise you my career's over, dog. My career is over. I'm not coming back 10 years later, dude. Like, that's not happening, bro. Chris Forrester, man. Holy privilege, Batman. By the way he even ended up in San Francisco is absolutely sketchballs. Like, it's so sketchball, man. Like, okay, listen. After he had the whole, like, white substance, incident, okay, that happened in 2017. Okay, 2017. Then he goes to rehab for 60 days, starting in October of 2017. Okay? He resigned from the Dolphins, by the way. Resigned, I'm using air quotes. He resigned. I think he got fired, but he resigned. Okay, that's fine. Then after 60 days, okay, so that takes him from, okay, he entered rehab in October. Okay, that takes him to November, and then that takes him to December. Okay? Then he spent another 90 days in an outpatient program, right? So we go from December to January to February to March. He is immediately hired by the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, that dude was like coming out of the outpatient program, and it was like the closing scene of like Ocean's 11. You know, when like George Clooney is coming out of jail and is Brad Pitt picking him up? Like, George Clooney is Chris Forrester, and the Niners are Brad Pitt. Like, they just come picking him right up out of rehab and like, hey, welcome to the organization, brother. That's wild. I mean, holy privilege, Batman. Who else is doing this, dude? No one. That's incredible. That is incredible privilege. I need to know, how good is this guy at coaching the O-line? I mean, by the way, that's the other thing, okay? Like, for reals. Like, we're not talking about like a quarterback's guru, right? We're talking, this guy's coaching the O-line.
Oh, come on!
I don't know. Look, the O-line's obviously incredibly important. I'm not like diminishing the O-line. Obviously, the O-line is incredibly important. But at no point in like the coaching pecking order are you like, oh my God, who's their O-line's coach? Right? Like, again, I'm sure it's incredibly important. I recognize that, you know? But it's like, it's not like the O-line's coach is like getting all the hot like interviews. It's not like all the O-line coaches out there are interviewing for head coaching positions, you know? But the Niners are lining up to get this guy who was doing a white substance before practice. I mean, they didn't even let his resume get cold, bro. Like, golly, they're just out. They're out the front door like, hey, can't wait for you to come to San Francisco, dog. For an O-line coach, y'all. What am I missing, dude? I legitimately, what am I missing? I don't understand this. I really like. Someone needs to explain this. Like, how good could this guy possibly be at coaching the O line? That again, like the Niners are waiting outside of his outpatient program and being like, "Hey, man, we need you in the building. We need you in the building so bad, bro." That's crazy to me. To the point where not only did they hire this guy immediately out of rehab, but then they're like, hey, you know what? You've done such a good job. You're going to be the acting head coach when Kyle Shanahan is recovering from an automobile accident that we are suppressing all the information and don't want anyone to know about. You're going to be the guy. Holy privilege, Batman. What in the world? Double P, am I tripping, bro?
No.
What's happening? I'm so confused. This guy allegedly did cocaine before practice. Went to rehab, got immediately picked up by the Niners. And now he is their front-facing coach at training camp, dog. Like, holy moly. I need to know what this guy's doing on the O-line. How good must this guy be of an O-lines coach, dude? Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
They better not allow any sacks this year.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Don't allow no kind of sacks, bro. Holy moly. That's crazy. That's amazing. Good for him. But holy privilege, Batman. I need to know what this guy coaches, dude. Dude, if he is that good of an O-lines coach, like, I don't know, like, I don't know, like, teach a course or something and make $1 billion or something, dude, you know? Actually, maybe I'm probably misunderstanding this, dude. Like, I don't know. How much you know what? We're going to go to break. And during the break, I am legitimately going to try to figure out how much Chris Forster makes. I need to know. Like, I need to know what this guy's salary is. That the Niners were like, hey, listen, I know you just went through like 5 months of rehab, but come on down, baby. Come on down. He didn't even have to wait a year. Legit 6 months. And he's back in football. Like nothing happened. Incredible. Incredible. I need that. Dude, listen, I need that privilege, dude. Give me that privilege. You give me that privilege, dude. I don't even know what I would do with myself. I'd be a billionaire or something, man. That'd be crazy. That'd be wild, man. Okay, cool. Let's step away. When we come back, I'm going to tell you how much Chris Forrester makes. That's coming up next, right here on the James Coe Show on the brand new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. What is cracking, Los Angeles? It's your boy, James Cone. We welcome you back to the program. Having a lot of fun. Got my producer. Double P is in the building.
Double P.
Double P. Okay, it has been a few days. I don't know why I went away from this. It's my favorite segment. It's basically just me listing off a bunch of rando dudes. But let's get to it. This is my favorite segment of all time. Here we go. Time now to play Who the Fuck? It is now time to play Who the F. Again, it's just listing off a bunch of random players because this is what we do. Hey, and in celebration of Double P being an official member of the James Coe Show, we go back to the year he was born. This is going to make a lot of Gen Zers, or excuse me, Gen Xers and Boomers feel really bad about themselves. But Double P, producer Pate, was born in 2004. 2004. So we go back to the great 2004-2005 LA Lakers campaign. That is where, do y'all remember B. Cook? Do y'all remember Brian Cook? Do y'all remember the Cookie Monster out of Illinois? Brian Cook played for the 2004-2005 LA Lakers. It was his second season in the NBA. And in 2004-2005, it was a dark period in Lakers history. Poor Rudy Tomjanovich was the head coach. Just 1 year for old Rudy T. They finished 34-48, did the LA Lakers. Brian Cook was, I want to say he was a little bit ahead of his time. I truly felt this way. He was selected in the first round by the Lakers, 24th overall, drafted in the 2003 NBA draft. And the reason I bring up this year of 2004-2005 LA Lakers and Brian Cook, because this was the year that I remember seeing this long backup center just hoisting it. Just letting it fly, baby, let it fly. Rudy T empowered this young man to shoot the three. He averaged a career high 2.8 threes per game under Rudy T. And by the way, when I say this guy was ahead of his time, shoot, this guy'd be getting paid, buku crazy dollars in today's game. Shoot, this guy was Rui Hachimura before. Hey, listen, Brian Cook walked so that Rui Hachimura could fly. Truly, honestly, this guy averaged 2.8 threes per game, a career high for him. And shoot, man, this guy could legit shoot 38% from beyond the arc over his career. Brian Cook, Cookie Monster from Illinois, man, this guy could shoot, man, I'm telling you. And that's the thing. He was so ahead of his time because he was selected to be kind of like a stretch four, backup big, right? And back then, man, the coaches would just get so pissed off if you were a big man and you shot a three. All due respect to the Sam Perkinses of the world, but man, they hated it. I remember when Rasheed Wallace shot 2 threes in a game once, and every analyst was like, why is Rasheed Wallace ruining the Portland Trail Blazers? It was crazy. It was crazy. Brian Cook, B. Cook was of that mold as well. By the way, this is somebody who played high school basketball at Lincoln Community High School in Central Illinois. They have one of the best mascots and team names of all time. It's the Lincoln Community High School Rail Splitters. The Rail Split, we ain't got no Rail Splitters in California, bro. Wow. Hey, and listen, Double P, don't let them fool you. The Rail Splitters, that's a legit name because we got crazy railroad tracks in California.
I just wonder what it was like for opposing teams going into playing them that night. Like, oh yeah, we got to play the Rail Splitters tonight. Do they call them something? Or like, do you call them the Rail Splitters? Do you have a nickname?
I don't think you call them like the Splitters. I don't think you call them like the Rails. I just think it's the Rail Splitter. Like, again, I wish when we start like looking up like, you know, like other professional like team names, whether it's like expansion, like the NBA expansion, like Vegas is gonna go with like the Vegas Jacks, which is the most like stupidest name that they could go with. Like, they need to go back and like reach back and like try to find somebody who came up with like dope names like the Rail Splitters. What a cool name that is. The Rail Splitters, bro. That's a cool name. That's pretty dope, man. I don't know. Anyways, they had the best. They had one of the best high school mascot names out there in the Rail Splitters. I like that. Okay, then he went to University of Illinois, did Brian Cook, and he played under Bill Self. Y'all remember Bill Self at Illinois, man? Before it became like this mega power, Kansas and all that, man. I don't know. That was great. And again, I just shout out to Brian Cook, who played for this 2004-2005 LA Lakers, where Rudy T quit midseason, and then poor Frank Hamblin had to take over. Oh, man. But this team, again, this was a dark period, okay? This was before Pau Gasol got there, let me tell you, okay? Kobe Bryant was in his prime. This was his 8th season in the NBA. Absolute prime. They had just made the trade, I believe, for Shaq O'Neal, right? They traded away Shaq. Yeah, they traded away Shaq. This was the first year after the Shaq trade, and they were absolute just garbage. They traded Shaq for frickin' Caron Butler, Lamar Odom. Who else was there? Oh, Brian Grant. Oh, my gosh, Brian Grant. Caron Butler, Brian Grant, and Lamar Odom, which honestly, for a guy who was like basically forcing his way out of town in Shaq O'Neal, that's not a bad haul, right? Like Lamar Odom, Caron Butler, these are like, you know, all-star level players. Brian Grant was definitely on his last legs, but you know, whatever, it's not bad. Dude, this team, believe it or not, okay, had Kobe Bryant. They had Sasha Vujacic, La Machina. Y'all remember Kareem Rush out of Missouri? Hey, Kareem Rush. Yeah, this wasn't a good team, dude. I'm not going to lie to you. This was not even remotely a good team. Kobe Bryant in this season, though, averaged 27.6 points per game with 6 rebounds and 6 assists on 43% shooting, which is not ideal. He also averaged 4.1 turnovers per game. Holy hell. Pass the rock, Kobe. Cobes, pass the rock once in a while, dog. Holy hell, 4.1 turnovers per game. Good Lord. Lamar Odom, Caron Butler. Oh, my gosh. Chucky Atkins. Y'all remember Chucky Atkins? Oh, the Atkins diet was in full effect. He was the starting point guard for this team, I believe. I mean, golly, the guy averaged 35 minutes a game. Oh, let me tell you something. Oh, this is a blast from the past. Y'all are going to love this, dude. I could have gave y'all, I'll tell you what, man, you would have had to been the hardcorest of hardcore LA fans to remember this guy as the starting center. If I said, okay, 2004, 2005, Rudy T, Lakers, who was the starting center? Man, it would have taken a minute. It would have taken a while before y'all mentioned Chris Mim out of Texas. Chris Mim out of Texas, bro. Yes. Oh, my gosh. What an absolute stiff Chris Mim was. But that's okay. That's okay. But yeah, this was not a good squad, man. They had Jermaine Jones, Devian George, who I thought could have been a better player, but absolutely just was not very good. Brian Grant was a backup forward, and then old B Cook, the Cookie Monster, out there just letting it fly, baby. Just letting it fly. You know who else was on this squad, man? Luke Walton was on this squad. Like I said, Sasha Vujacic, Stanislav Medvedenko, and randomly Vlade Divac in his last year of his NBA career was also a backup center for this LA Lakers unit. This was not a good team, y'all. This was not good. I don't know what they finished. What they finish here? Well, not good. Oh, they went 30. Oh my gosh. They went 34-48. Woof. 34-48. Good night. Not good. Not good. Anyways, there you go. That's your Who the F player for tonight. We go all the way back to 2004, 2005, the year Double P was born, y'all. The young man was born in one of the worst Laker campaigns in LA history. There you go. There it is. Anyways, great segment, as always. I always love going down memory lane. Anyways, we step away when we come back. It is more of this tomfoolery. It's more nonsense right here on the James Coe Show on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. Los Angeles, what is cracking? It's your boy James Coe. We welcome you back into the program. Having a lot of fun. 855-97-LA-FAN if you want to jump in. 855-97-LA-FAN. Been talking a lot about LeBron and how much Rich Paul is making an ass of himself. It's been embarrassing. It's been embarrassing watching Rich Paul this offseason, who has devolved into the most unlikable and, sketchiest person in basketball right now. It's not good. It's not fun. You know what else is not fun is thinking about Matt Nagy back in the NFL. Like, how is Matt Nagy? How do these guys, talk about holy privileged Batman, but like, where has Matt Nagy gone where you've said to yourself, you know what? He really elevated the offense. Like, where? Matt Nagy has been so bad at his job, he even ruined the Kansas City Chiefs offense. Like, how do you have Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes? Like, as soon as Matt Nagy came in the door, they started stinking up the joint, bro. Like, what are we doing? It's crazy. Matt Nagy was so bad at his job in Kansas City, they said, hey, listen, dude, we're going to respectfully let you walk out the door because I know you want to get another opportunity elsewhere. I promise you, Matt Nagy was like, no, wait, hold up. I did not say that. What do you mean? I didn't want that. What are you talking about? Matt Nagy was so bad that Kansas City was like, you know what? What is Eric Bieniemy doing? I know he got fired by UCLA, of all places. I know he was terrible in Washington as an offensive coordinator. Then I know he was terrible as an offensive coordinator for UCLA. The Bruins. Are you kidding? First of all, I'm excited about the new direction the Bruins are going in, but hey, listen, again, we're going to keep it a buck. Bruin fans, you know what I'm talking about. They've been terrible. They have been god-awful for the last 2-3 years. They're so bad that Eric Bieniemy was bad. Like, people consider like that was bad. You know? Come on, bro. Again, Matt Nagy's so bad. The guy that UCLA thought was bad, Kansas City wanted instead of Matt Nagy. They're like, hey, bring in Eric Bieniemy. We gotta go do something, man. Offense is terrible right now. Where is Eric Bieniemy at? We got to go get that guy. So Matt Nagy ends up with New York, and now he is the OC for the New York Giants. Did y'all see this one, though? He's trying to give a little rah-rah speech. He's trying to give a little rah-rah. He's trying to do the woo-woo with the Giants. And let me tell you something. There was a lot of blank stares and empty faces, man. It was tough. This is part of his speech. Here, take a listen.
So, a few things offensively you're going to hear us talk about over and over and over. Physical, tough, smart, and detailed. And you can sit there and talk about, like, the one thing we all know when teams walk off the bus, you're in pregame and you're doing your routes on air or you're stretching daily game. If you look out and you look at the other team and you could say, man, these freaking dudes, this is a physical team. We're walking into a street fight. That's going to be us. That's going to be us offensively. That's who we're going to be. That's a mindset. Physical, right? Physical. How you put that on tape and what you do is a mindset. And then there's the physicality part of that. Every team in the NFL, the 31 other teams are going to feel that from us. I promise you that. Tough, right? Same thing. Tough. What does that mean? Well, we all say we're tough, but are we really tough? Well, we got to put it on tape. We got to show it in practice. That's mentally tough and physically tough. See, there's a lot of guys that are physically tough, but they're mentally weak. You got to have both.
Okay. And I'm just telling you, as lackluster as that sounded on the radio, the players, they were not feeling it, bro. Like, when you look at the video and you look at the crowd, they're like, damn, this is terrible. The one thing that I thought was absolutely hysterical, he said, hey, listen, man, we got to be physical. That's P. We got to be tough. That's T. We got to be smart. That's S. And we got to be detailed. That's D. He said, hey, man, we got to have PTSD. That's what he legitimately said. Matt Nagy went out there and said, hey, man, hey, fellas, we got to have PTSD. Bro, this is what I love about this. First of all, it's Matt Nagy, who, again, he's never been anywhere where the offense has like done well, and he's supposed to be an offensive guy. That is problem number one. When you're known to be one guy, like you're like, hey, he's an offensive guy, and he sucks offensively, you're not a good coach. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules, but those are the rules. Okay? If you're a defensive guy and your defense stinks, guess what? You're not a good coach. Matt Nagy is an offensive guy, and everywhere he has been, his offense has stunk up the joint. He's not a good coach. And some holy privileged Batman, he somehow is the OC in New York. Good night and good luck, Giants. With a very compromised Malik Neighbors. Good night and good luck. You got Cam Scatabo doing unnecessary backflips and trying to speed run the CTE. Like, what are we doing out here, bro? You know? We got Jackson Dart, who doesn't know about the Trump curse. I mean, if I'm Jackson Dart, the last thing I want to do is evoke the Trump curse, bro. You don't know about the Trump curse? Come on, man. We got a starting quarterback evoking the Trump curse. We got a starting running back speed running CTE and doing unnecessary backflips coming off of an ACL tear. And we've got Malik Neighbors, who is like legitimately a top 10 talent at the wide receiver position, but has had major complications with his knee injury. And oh, by the way, that field, the Meadowlands field, is just an absolute, like, Turf Monster doesn't do enough justice, bro. Like, the electrical substation in San Francisco is wondering what's going on in New Jersey. But what I found funny about this whole Matt Nagy speech is that he's like, okay, all right, man, we got to have PTSD. Physical, tough, smart, detailed. Bro, one of your tenants is the D part, which is detailed. One of them is smart. In your smart and detailed analysis of your speech, you didn't realize that you're spelling out PTSD, bro?
You got to have both.
We got to have both. Clip that. I want you to save that. We got to have both. What do you mean? You want to be smart and you want to be detailed, and somehow you didn't realize that you were spelling out PTSD. My guy, Matt Nagy, what are we doing out here, bro? I'm just so confused, dude. That's so crazy, man. That is so crazy, dude. Random baseball news. Former Dodger Chan-Ho Park, the great Dodger Chan-Ho Park, buys part of the West Sacramento Athletics. I laugh, I kid. It's the Las Vegas Athletics. But they are currently playing in West Sacramento. Thus, the West Sacramento Athletics. But former Dodger Chan-Ho Park buying part of the Athletics. The former Dodger, right, made history by purchasing an ownership stake in the Las Vegas Athletics. Why is this history? Because he's leading an investment group called Team 61. Team 61. Why is it called Team 61? Because Chan-Ho Park wore number 61 for his entire career. Boom. Now, it's making history because Chan-Ho Park is the first South Korean to acquire an ownership stake in any Major League Baseball team. Good for him. By the way, this is very heavily involving a lot of Asian Americans and Asians and Koreans and Korean Americans, man. They got actors like Ken Jeong in there, in this group. They also got K-pop super group BTS is involved. Suga from BTS is also part of Team 61? That's not bad. Hey, big ups to Chan-Ho Park. I mean, shoot, he had a very, listen, I don't want to, demean the guy, but, he had a very average career, but he, took that, parlayed that into some serious coin. Good for him, bro. I'll say this, too. Chan-Ho Park, after his playing career was done, became a senior advisor to A's owner John Fisher and advised the team's ownership group at the time on player development and Asia initiatives. So again, really lucrative and successful post-playing career for Chan-Ho Park. Pretty good, though. That's not bad. I'm impressed. I mean, by the fact, hey, listen, Chan-Ho Park raised all this money. I'm sure not all of it's his, but I mean, still, he had a very lucrative career and is able to find all this money, bring a lot of popular characters into the ownership group. Ken Jeong. What was that dude's name in that movie, man? I'm gonna find it after the break. Anyways, and also bringing in Suga from BTS. That's pretty cool. That's not bad. All right, coming up, I'm going to be talking about, what the Lakers look like from a depth perspective, but also, what are the Warriors doing, man? What the heck are the Warriors doing? It's absolutely embarrassing and sad what the Warriors are doing to the end of Steph Curry's career. It's bad. And I feel bad for Steph Curry. And I know you're saying to yourself, how can you feel, as an LA guy, how can you feel bad for Steph Curry? Steph Curry is one of the greats. So I feel bad that the Warriors are just packing it up. It's terrible. All right, we'll give you some of those details coming up as well. And again, if you missed it, you're going to hear from Lindsay Polaris. She was on the ground, boots on the ground, in regards to training camp for the Rams. That's coming up next, right here on 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. somebody is there, right? And yo, what is cracking, Los Angeles? James Coe here with you. Final hour of the show. Oh my goodness gracious. Good to be back on this evening broadcast. We're having a lot of fun on this beautiful, lovely Monday evening. I went into break talking about what the Golden State Warriors are doing to the end of Steph Curry's career, and quite honestly, it's just sad. It is. You know, when you take a look at last year, this is a team that, could not get out of the play-in tournament. They went 37-45. A lot of that has to do, obviously, with Steph Curry missing a bunch of time. But at the end of the day, look, I know they were trying to go and go get LeBron James, but it's funny because they weren't willing to go all out to get LeBron James. They were still protecting future assets. And I think that's, look, from a objectively team building standpoint, I guess that makes sense. But obviously Steph Curry is disappointed. And if you listen to all the things that he's been saying in the media, right, he's been disappointed as well. And at this point in his career, what are the Warriors? They're not close to winning a championship. Right? That's why they really want to get LeBron. But how do you go about doing that? If you ask LeBron's camp, what do you guys need to make this happen? And if you go do that and it fails, then that's on LeBron's camp. But, and again, I know what Laker fans are thinking. Why do you care about Steph Curry? He's won a bunch of championships and he's being applauded. And I get it. But he's a great player. He is one of the all-time greats. And it is sad to see Golden State go out the way that it is going out because it's not going to get any better. And sadly, and I will say this too, sadly, the mouthpiece and what they are known for nowadays is more about Draymond Green's podcast and the ridiculous things that he says versus the play on the court. Now, he would always say ridiculous things and do ridiculous things, like he's out there punching out his teammates and all that kind of stuff. And that was part of the Warriors' fabric, but it was always overshadowed by the play on the court. It was always overshadowed by just the spectacular things that Steph Curry could do with a basketball, or what Klay Thompson could do with a basketball. Right? And it was always that. It was always about the basketball. Now, the basketball is mediocre to bad. It's a team that went 37-45 last year. And Steph Curry is truly, honestly, on the decline. He was good last year. He wasn't, unstoppable. Although every now and again, old man Steph, man, he'd reach into the bag and just absolutely cook, right? And maybe if they had gotten LeBron, they figured that thing out. And, and again, it's one of the more entertaining teams in the NBA. But it seems as if right now they're just like, you know what? Let's just re-sign Draymond and just ride this thing into the sunset. That stinks. That stinks. You know, you look at this roster, there's just no way without another playmaker that they're ever going to make a move. And again, when they lost Klay Thompson, that's really when things started going south, right? I mean, it's a team that won the NBA Finals as recently as 2021, 2022. And then ever since then, it's just, you know, they've had a couple of Western Conference semis appearances. They're just constantly in the play-in. It's a play-in team. It's a play-in team. Ever since they won the finals in 2021, 2022, they have not cracked even 49 wins on the season. It's not a 50-win team. They won the finals and then just went into, basically they just went into play-in mode. And listen, Jonathan Kuminga has flamed out. Jonathan Weissman has flamed out. Like, it's just nothing. Again, they picked up Yaxel. Everyone thought Yaxel was a reach. Front office has done absolutely nothing for Steph Curry. It's to the point where if Steph Curry were to leave Golden State, again, this is where the whole LeBron thing ties in, right? It's like, oh, okay, if Steph Curry were to leave Golden State and go to a contender, is anyone really going to blame the guy? First of all, the answer to that is no, because he's Steph, and whatever Steph does, it's fine. But it's funny that like LeBron does is doing that exact same thing that I'm talking about and is getting skewered for it. But if Steph were to leave the Golden State Warriors and again go to a more competitive team, would he get this kind of, pushback? I don't think so. Okay, let's shift gears. Let's talk NFL. We had the opportunity to talk to the Fan LA reporter, Lindsay Polares, who was on the ground. She is at Rams training camp at the beautiful campus of LMU, and this was our conversation.
I'm doing great. Any day I can talk about football is an amazing day.
Exactly.
And I know LA has got a really intense heat wave going on, but I got to tell you, there is a wonderful little breeze rolling through LMU, so it was perfect football weather.
Oh, man, I can only imagine what it's like out there right now. Oh, golly. LMU campus at 6:49 p.m. I'm sure it's beautiful right now. Hey, Lindsay, can you talk to me about Matt Stafford? It's his first day back. How did he look? What did you think?
Yeah, so it was technically second day of training camp for the Rams, but first day of actual practice for Matthew Stafford because he's doing kind of an abbreviated schedule, right? The Rams are practicing 4-day blocks. He's going to be going on days 2 and 4. And honestly, I don't want to over-exaggerate here, but he looked like he reached flow state, honestly, especially with his top 2 targets, Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. That really just looked like he hadn't skipped a beat, as they were doing receiver drills. He had back-to-back beautiful throws to Puka and Devontae. And I heard one of the coaches scream out, great timing. And it really was the perfect compliment for that moment. He just looks really energized to be out there. Obviously, training camp's always fun. Rams fans are out here chanting MVP. So it's really hard not to get hyped up. It's like first day of school with a cheer section hyping you up and, your best friends are all out on the field. So, yeah, I think all good things we saw for Matthew Stafford today.
Matt Stafford is the leader of this offense, and the offense is pretty loaded. You talk about Puka Nacua, you talk about Devontae Adams. Kyron Williams has been a longtime staple in this Sean McVay offense, too. But it's one of the most balanced teams in the NFL, Lindsay, and this is why they've got some of these Super Bowl vibes. Now that they've got Myles Garrett in the building, can you talk about what the energy is like with big old Myles Garrett roaming the halls?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just say there, I've been working in the NFL for a while. Myles Garrett is a force to be reckoned with, a large human. You can see that number 95 on the field immediately. Obviously, training camp, especially right here with no pads on just yet. It's hard to really tell, what every player can do, but that Myles Garrett, obviously reigning NFL Defensive Player of the Year, a generational talent, and you can see him in real time just come off the edge in the backfield within, like the blink of an eye. It's a sight to see. And, obviously right there to meet Matt Stafford, obviously no tackling going on, but a nice little tap on the red jersey. I think the whole defensive side of the ball is fired up to have him in the locker room. And, Matt Stafford said in his post presser here saying, iron sharpens iron. It's cliche, but it's true. When you've got the best on both sides, it's hard not to keep improving.
I love it. I love the energy right now, too. And again, some teams, Lindsay, we're talking to Lindsay Polaris, reporter here with the Fan, 97.1 FM. But I just... The expectations can sometimes be crippling, but yet you're describing this scene as almost like a party there at LMU.
Yeah, it was. I absolutely think it was that. Like I said earlier, MVP chants, Rams house, like the crowd really didn't stop screaming in excitement. And obviously you can see that like new day, like new season, like fresh day of school energy on the field. Absolutely. And it's really hard, to not be excited when you've got the caliber of talent on both sides of the ball. And those expectations that you talked about, they've been asked ad nauseum about them. And really kind of the company line here is we're blocking out the noise because truly football games are won September through January, and you might have everything on paper, but it really comes down to how you play on Sundays, and that's very much the mantra of the Rams right now, and it's true because crazy things happen in football. We see it every season. You can have all the talent in the world, but you've got to be able to put it together on Sundays.
You're so right. 100%, man. Can you talk to me about, okay, we know Stafford is there, right? But we know that his snaps and stuff like that, his practice time, all of it's going to be somewhat limited to kind of sort of preserve his health and his freshness for the regular season, which of course brings up the question of who is the backup quarterback? What does that quarterback backup battle look like right now at LMU?
Yeah, so right now you're looking at Stetson Bennett, who has obviously been with the team, and then also first-round pick Ty Simpson. He was the 13th overall pick, first-rounder out of Alabama. And at least for today, which is the first day we've seen all four QBs that are here at training camp out together, it was Stetson Bennett that got the bulk of second-team reps. Ty Simpson really had just one set, but of course, Sean McVay was asked about it after practice concluded, and he did say, I don't want to pigeonhole myself to, committing to this order of reps, especially when Matt's out there. But we're going to keep this in a constant evaluation. So I do think that backup QB battle is going to be ongoing throughout camp. Obviously, hopefully we get a little bit more clarity by the time everything is said and done. But right now, Stetson Bennett taking those second-team reps, and then Ty Simpson coming in as the number 3.
Oh, that's so interesting. That right there is so fascinating to me, man. Hey, can you talk to me about the fans, though? Okay, so the fans, when they watch Stetson and when they watch Ty Simpson, look, when the fans go to training camp, these are fans that are absolutely locked in. They know what is going on with the team. Can you talk about some of the reactions to some of the throws from Stetson Bennett versus some of the throws by Ty Simpson?
Yeah, I think just because of the disparity of reps, obviously just more excitement for Stetson Bennett, simply because he had more opportunities. Ty Simpson had really one set. But he did catch the attention of Sean McVay during that. He said he did a really good job with the very limited opportunities that he had today. And then he went on to say, too, that, Ty Simpson is in a perfect situation to continue growing, getting better, and, really entering the league in a good spot. But I'm not going to lie, the fans were excited about Matthew Stafford. Like, it was MVP chance. Like, so as much as, they got their fill of the backup QB battle, they were absolutely here for number 9. And that's the chants were overwhelmingly going in that direction, as they should.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Hey, before I let you go, look, one of the storylines there for the Rams is clearly like, what is going on with Puka Nacua? I just kind of get it. Again, he's had a very tumultuous offseason, let's just say. What has the vibes been around Puka Nacua and the Rams?
We saw Puka Nacua walk out after most of the team was already out, and I really think the focus while he's here is just football. Fans were excited to see him, and they were excited to see that he was catching passes with such ease. And you can see that chemistry, obviously, with Matthew Stafford. It hasn't skipped a beat. I think, Sean McVay mentioned it in a presser earlier in the week that all the off-the-field stuff, they're keeping that private and it's going to be ongoing. So really that didn't enter the conversation today. I really do think attention was on what can Matthew Stafford do with his top targets. Obviously that is in the background of all of this, but it really was kind of a non-factor today, I would say.
Okay, there you go. The great Lindsay Polaris joining the program here. Great reporter for the Fan LA. Lindsay, we appreciate the time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, good stuff there from Lindsay Polaris, who we talked to earlier this evening. When you take a look at the Rams here, their schedule is brutal. I think at least to start the season, 4 of their first 5 games are in prime time. So let me just say that this is a prime time unit because again they've got a lot of star power, as Lindsay Polaris was talking about. It starts with Matt Stafford, right? MVP. We talk about Myles Garrett now, and who knows when Aaron Donald comes back, and when he does, it's going to be must watch again. All right, big time, prime time over here. But Devontae Adams is a star. Puka Nacua is a star. Puka Nacua, I mean, again, there's a lot going on with Puka Nacua, but he is in the last year of his deal. Right, he wasn't a first-round draft pick, so there's no fifth-year option here. He's in the last year of his deal. Generally, a player like this would already be looking at a contract extension, but just because of all of the extra noise that is happening in this offseason, that has not been the case. But I take a look at their early season schedule, and like I said, I think it's pretty tough. San Francisco to start out the gates. Again, this one's in Australia. Tough travel schedule for the Rams. It's in prime time. And the San Francisco 49ers, Kyle Shanahan, has generally played LA extraordinarily tough. I mean, extremely tough. I think it's, again, there's a case to be made that Kyle Shanahan knows everything that Sean McVay is going to do and is able to game plan for that. They've played, Shanahan generally has played, not only has played them well, he's honestly, if we're being real, he's basically owned Sean McVay. He has an extraordinary win-loss record against Sean McVay. Week number 2 is a little bit of a, whatever game. It's I think it's a Monday Night Football. Yeah, Monday Night Football game against New York. That should be a win. But then in week 3, they go on the road. They play Denver. Again, this is on Sunday Night Football. But they're on the road taking on a very, very tough Denver team. Then they go on the road again and play Philadelphia, but in the early slate. And you think about a West Coast team playing in that early slate, having to travel across the country. It's tough. You think about, first 4 weeks, right? Australia, they got a home game against New York, which is fine. But then they've got a short week. They got to go play Denver on the road. Then they've got to go on the road again and go to Philadelphia in the early slate. A West Coast team playing an East Coast team on the early slate. Sometimes that's tough to do. By the way, week number 5, what do? They're back in primetime against the Buffalo Bills. Another tough game. There is a non-0% chance that this team starts 1-4. Hey, listen, it's a Super Bowl contending team. They're great. They're awesome. They've got players at every level. They address their defensive backfield. They go get Myles Garrett. Their defense looks amazing, right? Offensively, about as balanced and as explosive as you're going to get. You've got Puka and Devontae on the outside. You got Kyron Williams giving you a steady force on the running game. Sean McVay has been an incredible run game designer, so they're going to be productive on the ground. Matt Stafford MVP. Offensive line, pretty good. Don't know what's going to happen with Alaric Jackson, but if he stays out of trouble and if he stays away from the suspension, they'll be pretty good. Again, well-balanced unit across the board are the Rams. That's why they are one of the, preeminent Super Bowl favorites this year. That being said, listen, San Francisco, Denver, Philly, Buffalo. There's a non-0% chance they start this season at 1-4. Not going to lie to you, man. That's a brutal schedule to start. You got road games at Denver, road game at Philadelphia, and a road game, which is supposed to be a home game, but it's a road game in Australia. That is a crazy amount of traveling. Their schedule does ease up a bit, but still, you got Arizona, you got Las Vegas. Okay, cool. You give those wins to LA both times. Then it's like, okay, then now we got a battle for LA. They got to take on the Chargers, who is, again, in my opinion, going to be a really tough unit this year. I mean, this is a unit that I think the Chargers are a 10-11 win team. That's no easy matchup. Guess what? They go on the road again. West Coast team playing an East Coast team on the road in the morning. 10 a.m. game. Not easy. Jaden Daniels. Not easy. The first half schedule for the Rams is absolutely brutal. Absolutely crushing. Then they got to go play Green Bay. Good team. Kansas City. I don't know what's going to go on with that, but, again, pretty good. I think Kansas City's obviously going to take a step back, but still, you never know with the power of Mahomes, man. By the way, that's on Thursday Night Football. Good luck. Good luck. You want to play primetime football against Patrick Mahomes later in the season? That's week 13 where his knee's getting healthier? Uh-oh. Rams have one of the hardest schedules in the NFL, especially to start out. Guys, they don't play Seattle. They play Seattle 2 times to close the season. Week 16 and 18. 2 of the final 3 games are against Seattle. Their playoff lives, forget the division, but their playoff lives might hang in the balance going up against the Super Bowl champs. Crazy. Crazy difficult schedule. Like I said, when you look at this first 5 weeks, there's a non-0% chance they start 1-4. Hey, and listen, like I said, well-balanced team. They're a great team. It's just, man, it's scary. I tell you what, schedule makers did these guys absolutely no favors. Okay, let's step away. 855-97-LA-FAN. Again, that's 855-97-LA-FAN if you'd like to call in. But, yeah, let's talk football. Let's talk football, baby. Let's go. All right, the NFL and basically what is going on with Rich Paul invoking Kobe Bryant's name. I got some thoughts there. And speaking of the San Francisco 49ers, what is the deal with San Francisco and suppressing all this information? What's going on there? Is it a conspiracy theory that we need to be thinking about? More from the James Coe Show on the brand new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. What's going on, everybody? James Kell here with you. We'll welcome you back into the program. 30 minutes to go, baby. Let's go. If y'all want to call in, be part of the program, by all means, 855-97-LA-FAN. You can find us on the interwebs, on social media, at The Fan LA. By the way, earlier we were talking about Golden State and how they've been failing Steph Curry. And I think their own success, they just got used to it. They're like, hey, man, as long as we got Steph, we can win a championship. And you know what? That's just not the case. That is just not at this point in his career, that is absolutely just not the case. And they need to surround him with better talent. They were hoping for LeBron, but okay, like I said, what's the backup plan? Y'all, what's the backup plan? You're really going to run this back with Steph Curry? I mean, this was a sub-500 team last year. You're really going to run this back? That's crazy. And look, they traded away Jonathan Kuminga. Whatever you feel about Jonathan Kuminga, the bottom line is they absolutely could have developed him better and kept him in the building, and he would have added a lot of athleticism and youth, which are two things that this team desperately needs. But no, they burned that bridge. And you could say, hey, Jonathan Kuminga burned that bridge. That's fine. But I think at the end of the day, they could have done a better job maintaining that relationship. Front office need to come down on Steve Kerr and said, Steve, stop benching this guy. Steve, stop treating this guy this way. Steve, we need this guy to win. Steve, stop sabotaging yourself, Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr, you're sabotaging yourself by not giving Jonathan Kuminga more playing time. Develop him. Nope. Alienated him. Put him on the bench. Very rarely said any good things about Jonathan Kuminga, and they traded him away to Atlanta. That's on the Warriors, man. That's on the Warriors. Then you see this Shams report that Boston would have traded Jaylen Brown to the Warriors if the Warriors were willing to let go of roughly 4 first-round picks. Now, you could say, hey, that's a massive overpay for Jaylen Brown. And yes, I would agree with that. Right? But again, when you look at the Jaylen Brown trade, why didn't the Warriors get back in on that mix? Right? Why didn't they get back in on that mix? Philadelphia traded him for Paul George and 2 first-round draft picks. That's it. Paul George, 2 first, 2 seconds. That's it. Why weren't the Warriors involved here? Why didn't the Warriors package up Jimmy Butler and 3 first-round picks and go get Jaylen Brown? Extend the championship window for Steph Curry. I'll tell you what, man. If I was a Warriors fan, I'd just be pissed. I'd be thinking, like, what are we doing out here? What are we doing? I don't get it. The Warriors, they've really dropped the ball here. Speaking of Jaylen Brown in the trade, Jason Tatum was recently at a charity event and a charity basketball event, and he was addressing the crowd of what it's like to be a real leader. And man, let me tell you something. This guy was taking some serious shots at his former teammate, Jaylen Brown.
Being a leader doesn't mean you know it all, right? I don't know it all. I'll be the first person to say that. Being a leader is being comfortable with raising your hand like, Michelle, I don't know. Can you explain that to me? I don't know X, Y, and Z. I want to learn, right? Somebody, being around somebody that feel like they know it all, I don't want to be around that person, right? I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. I want to learn from somebody else.
So again, let me just reiterate what he was talking about. He said, being around somebody that feels like they know it all, I don't want to be around that person. I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. I want to learn from somebody else. That's what he said it means to be a leader. And again, this dovetails with that anonymous report saying that Jaylen Brown thinks that he knows it all, that he thinks he's the smartest guy in the room, which, by the way, Jaylen Brown is a pretty dang smart guy, just FYI. He very well may be the smartest guy in the room, just FYI. Just FYI. But Jason Tatum, man, taking serious shots at Jaylen Brown. That's wild, man. Being around somebody that feels like they know it all, I don't want to be around that person. By the way, that quote was then quoted on Jaylen Brown's Instagram story. He knows what's up. Remember, these two teams are going to face each other a lot. 76ers, Boston. Oh, boy. What is that pre-game handshake going to look like, if at all? What's that post-game handshake going to look like, if at all? There's no way, man. There's no way Jaylen Brown shakes hands with this man. Not after this, right? You can't take these shots, bro. You can't take these shots and shake hands with the guy. Forget about shaking hands. You might have to throw hands. You might have to throw hands. If a guy after the trade is taking this direct of a shot at you, and I know these are like quote unquote subliminals, but this is about as close to a direct shot as you could take. And I don't know if Jason Tatum's going to back off of these comments, but golly, being around somebody that feels like they know it all, I don't want to be around that person. Good Lord. I mean, hey, Jason, just say you hate Jaylen Brown, bro. That's what you need to do. Hey, bro, hey, Jaylen Brown, yeah, I don't like him. He's a punk. He feels like he knows it all. Nah, I don't like that guy. Nah, I don't like that guy. I can't wait to beat up on this overrated Sixers team. Hey, just say it with your chest out, Jason. Jason, say it with your chest out now. Why are you trying to take the most obvious subliminals, man? I love this. Dude, when do the Celtics play Boston? Or when do they play the Sixers? When does Boston play Philly, man? Oh, my goodness gracious. The random thought I was thinking of too, and then we'll take a break here, but random thought I was thinking about, how funny and like ridiculous would it have been if LeBron was doing like, like a kind of like a decision type of thing, like he's on social media and he's like, all right, you know what? I am going to take my talents to the Warriors. And everyone starts clapping and screaming, oh my God, it's going to be the Warriors. To the Philadelphia Warriors. I wish LeBron would lean into the villain act too. Like, I wish he would be a heel. I mean, people already hate the guy, Just lean into it. I think if he leaned into being a heel, people would actually flip and actually like him more. If LeBron just went full Stone Cold Steve Austin heel turn, I think he would actually garner more fans. Like that would have been great. Like if he was just like, I'm going to the Warriors. The Philadelphia Warriors, sucker! That would have been great. Dude, first of all, we know that he used to be a WWE fan, right? Like he's at Monday Night Raw. He's got that old school flip phone and he's watching Stone Cold Steve Austin, right? And by the way, like we're watching Tom Brady like devolve into like a WWF, person or whatever. And then like, look, 100% chance. Let me say this again. 100% chance LeBron is going to be at WrestleMania in some kind of featured, gimmicky bout at some point in his retirement. When he retires, I promise within 5 years, LeBron will be on some gimmicky thing at WrestleMania. Mark my words. Like, I'm sorry, man, but like you don't just go to Monday Night Raw and bring out that flip phone and like, record Stone Cold Steve Austin. Okay? You don't just go and do that and forget about that. I'm sorry, but that just lives with you forever. Any pro wrestling fan knows exactly what I'm talking about. That just lives with you, bro. You may have buried it. You may have pushed it down. But at some point, that bad boy wells right back up. And you're thinking, man, I can't wait to do a rock bottom on somebody in the pool. Or like, let me just drop a stone cold stunner on my wife right quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, babe, let me put a figure 4 leg lock on you, babe. Babe, let me put a figure 4 on you right quick. Pro wrestling fans know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You know? You're not trying to put the walls of Jericho on nobody, you know? Be like, hey, babe, let me put a camel clutch on you right quick. Baby, I'm into this. This is what I'm into. It's camel clutch. Let me put a little ankle lock on you. That's so stupid. But I promise you, once LeBron retires, I promise you, he's going to be at WrestleMania, man. Mark my words. I really wish he just leaned into that whole heel turn, dude. That'd be sick. Anyways, we step away. When we come back, we're going to close out the show. We will close out the show. If you want to be part of it, 855-97-LA-FAN. Again, that's 855-97-LA-FAN. What is cracking, Los Angeles? James Kell here with you. Really enjoying this beautiful Monday evening. We got Double P in the building. Double P, producer Pate. What's
Yes,
cracking,
sir.
man? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great, man.
Okay.
I'm about to order a pizza after this. Go
Oh,
home
yeah.
and probably have some Domino's. Are you a Domino's guy?
I don't mind Domino's. Although I prefer to support like local pizzerias. Does that make sense? Like local
Nice.
pizzerias, they do the thing, you know?
They do. They got the homemade sauce too.
Yeah. But that being said, Domino's is just so consistent.
It is.
You know
what you're getting.
You know what you're getting with the Domino's, man. You know? Oh man. But there's a ceiling to Domino's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, we started the show talking about Rich Paul and how unsavory of a character he has developed into. And like I said, I was saying in the last, segment that I wish that LeBron just went full heel mode. And part of what Rich Paul is doing is tarnishing LeBron's brand. It is certainly negatively impacting how people view LeBron. And by the way, LeBron's already one of the most hated athletes in sports. He's one of the most beloved, but he's also one of the most hated. And for people to hate LeBron, it's really interesting, right? Like there's no real reason for it. It's all this amorphous stuff. You know? It's like, oh, how do I feel about this? How do I feel about that? Because here's the facts, right? He plays basketball the right way. He's one of the two best players to ever play the game. He's never had any off-court issues. He's never been in trouble with the law. He's never had any baby mama drama. He's been a great dad to his kids, supported them. So, and he's active in raising his kids as well. And like I said, you are absolutely lying if you're saying, if you don't agree that you would coach your kids to play the game of basketball like LeBron. You're lying if you're saying you wouldn't. He plays the game the right way. He's aggressive when he needs to be. He can score. He can rebound. He's passing the ball. He's good at the distribution of the basketball, right? He's a good playmaker. Is he the best playmaker? No, he's not the best playmaker. That's not what makes him great. What makes him great is his overall, well-roundedness as a basketball player. That's what you love. That's exactly what you would coach. You're like, hey, be a well-rounded basketball player. Right? It's like, and that's what's so funny. It's like everyone who says, oh, Michael Jordan and stuff like that. But it's like, if you were to coach, if there was a parent who coached their kid to play like Michael Jordan on your kid's basketball team, the first person you would hate would be that kid and their parents. That's what's so funny about it, right? Hey, so long as you're not Michael Jordan's teammate, right? Like Michael Jordan all the way, right? Right? Yeah, see, it's hard for me to separate that way. That's all. But it's so funny, man. Like I said, objectively speaking, it is hard to hate on LeBron. People point to the flopping as if that's new to LeBron. Like LeBron's the first person to flop. Okay. Like LeBron's the first person to scream after every missed shot attempt. Okay. All right. No one does it as much as LeBron. Okay. All right. Sure, buddy. Yeah, I'm sure that's accurate. He's 6'8", 250 pounds. Why is he flopping? Okay, buddy. All right. I get it. Okay. You hate LeBron. Okay. But again, I mean, objectively speaking, there's, it's hard to come up with reasons to hate LeBron. So it's all this amorphous stuff, like people making up things like, well, he needs to control the narrative. He needs attention and all this stuff that can't ever be fact checked. But you kind of feel a certain way. And in that regard, Rich Paul has made that even more difficult to defend LeBron in this weird amorphous way, right? Because hey, early on in this whole process, I was laughing, and it's funny because we can laugh at Rich Paul, and he's providing us with content, and it's ridiculous, and it's fun. It's fun. The whiteboard, stupid. It's so dumb and so fake and so contrived, and it's stupid. And yeah, we have fun, man. We laughed. It was great. I did that bit 4 or 5 times on this show. It's great. He's asking high-level basketball executives, some boomer people, to send him voice notes. Dog, I don't know how to send a voice note. I'm very technologically forward. I don't know how to send you a voice note, my guy. Nor do I want to learn how to do that. I don't care enough. I'll just send you a text message like a normal human being. Or I will call you on the phone like a normal human being. So we laugh at it. We laugh with it. It's like, hey, this is funny. This is quirky. This is stupid. But it's harmless. But the moment he started bringing up Kobe Bryant, it turned into something completely different. It turned into something completely different. And to leverage Kobe Bryant's name to talk about LeBron James was about as bottom of the barrel as you can get. It's about as unsavory as it gets. This was Rich Paul bringing up Kobe Bryant's name in regards to LeBron James.
Town, basically.
I actually think this is something Kobe would be extremely, I don't know if proud's the right word.
Proud is the word, I think.
Yeah, but I think he would be like, hell yeah.
Right.
Because
it's a
competitive
challenge. Move.
It's a competitive move. It's a challenge. It shows that this guy really...
It's just gross, man. It's just gross. He would say, hell yeah. Dog. First of all, forget all of the reasons why this is just not even remotely close to reality, right? We're talking about a guy who's talked about being, lifelong Laker, and he loves the organization and blah blah blah. You think he's going to celebrate LeBron James going from the Lakers to some other organization? No, he's not. You think he's going to say hell yeah to a guy in LeBron, going to a team with potentially 4 other All-Stars? I don't know. I think he might say nothing. I'm not even saying he'd hate on it. But to go so far as say he would say hell yeah, and he would quote unquote be proud of LeBron doing that is so outrageously out of touch. It's bordering on offensive. Guys, I'm not even a big Kobe guy. I'm not. There's been so much myth making in regards to Kobe Bryant. Hey, listen, he demanded a trade. He wrote goodbye on his personal website. He was trying to demand a trade. And listen, if LA had not fleeced Memphis out of Pau Gasol, he would have continued on that streak. He would not be an LA Laker. Let's be real. Right? But okay, whatever. You want to do the whole myth making for Kobe, that's fine. But even myself, it is abhorrent that somebody would use Kobe Bryant's name to promote their guy. It's just, why do you need to do this? You don't need to do this. You could have brought up any player in the world. You could have brought up Scottie Pippen going to Portland. You could have brought up Charles Barkley going to Houston. You could have brought up Kevin Garnett going to Boston. And no one batted an eye when those veteran players went to teams, with a bunch of all-stars trying to win one last ring. No one criticized them. Not a single person criticized Kevin Garnett for teaming up with Ray Allen and Paul Pierce. No one. You could have made so many arguments about past and current players teaming up. But you wanted to go and bring up Kobe Bryant, man. Rich Paul has done more this offseason to hurt LeBron's brand and image than anybody else because everyone assumes that Rich Paul is the talking head and voice of LeBron James. I'm not going to go so far. I like to judge a man based on the character and words that he says and the actions that he partakes in. So I will not judge LeBron based off of what Rich Paul says, but there is no question most people do. And there is no question that when we're talking about public image, Rich Paul has done more this offseason to hurt LeBron's public image than probably anyone else in the history of his 20-plus year career. Absolutely embarrassing, and he has absolutely become the most unlikable and unsavory character in basketball, period. He went from fun to annoying to unlikable, all in the span of about 2 months. Also, just so disappointed in Max Kellerman as well. Old school Max would have absolutely skewered this guy. Skewered him. Instead, he's saying, no, I agree with you. Bro.
I don't know if proud's the right word.
Proud is the word, I think.
Yeah.
That's horrendous. Old school Max would have destroyed this version of Max. Old school Max Kellerman would have absolutely destroyed this version of Max. That's tough to see because I think I have so much respect for what Max Kellerman has done in his career. I think he's one of the best to ever do it. Truly, honestly. As a sports broadcaster, as somebody who is in sports talk radio, let me tell you something. He is one of the best to ever do it. One of the best to ever do it. This version is sad, though. It's tough to see. So there you go. A little bit of a downer to close the show, but you know what, man? Need to be said. Absolutely need to be said. Double P, how was it on your first show, pal?
Man, that was great. I had a great time.
Good. Let's go, man.
It's almost bedtime, though.
You're right. You're right, bro. I had a good time as well. We're going to be covering Rams all week. Lindsay Polares will be checking in with us. You'll have all the Rams coverage you need and more. You know me, I got to talk football. You know me, I got to talk Lakers. And you know me, I got to talk Dodgers as well. Dodgers will be back in action tomorrow. We'll get you all the highlights and all the things and news that you need as well. All right, we got to go. But remember, it's never too late to chase your dreams.
You've been listening to The James Coe Show.
For fantasy purposes,
on the new 97.1 The Fan.
His effectiveness in the intermediate area of the field, it's not close.
The voice of LA Sports. If you miss any of the show, listen back on the iHeart and Always Free Odyssey app.